G'day everyone, Matt over here.
Sorry, is that me? That's me.
The brick boards here. At least I know the sound's working.
Why is Wally flat on his back? What are you doing?
Went a bit Wally.
If you eat bacon, you would not tell it's a fake cheese. It's bacon.
I was in a house fire whilst my mum was at work.
Was it caused by you?
So...
That's a yes. Yeah, is that right, Sam?
I believe so. There's another little Easter egg in the Death Star. You mentioned the Luke and Vader one, but there's another one. If you throw it at a wall, you can recreate the scene where it explodes.
Oh, his eyes just fell as you said that. But yeah, it just means that he has to be in a very specific position, otherwise he'll just, oh my god. It's the only time that I've considered glue for Lego.
1, 2, there's 2 now! It doesn't matter!
Welcome along to the Family Bricks livestream number 24 for July 20th. 2023. It's hard to think, always halfway through the year, and hope everyone's going well out there. Where every Thursday night we just get along and build with some friends, have a bit of chat, and talk about what's going on in the world. So the usual sort of things: social media, share, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff around here. I've also got a poll going, and we're going to be talking about the 72-hour live stream. So if you go through there, if you know what it is, yes, no, or sort of still curious as to what it is. As always, a shout out to the replay gang, and in particular Brian's Bricks, who goes through, and after we have this gone live, there's almost as many people watching after the fact, so I always appreciate that. And if you leave a comment on the video, then I'll give you a shout out like I did for Brian. Do that each week. And I think beyond that, just having a quick look here. Just seeing a comment there. Is my sound a bit funny? Let me just check a setting or something here. I'm always glad that somebody can get in, because I know I was playing around with something a little bit earlier. Microphone seems to be on the right one. I mean, if there's anybody else out there who give me a little bit of a shout out as to what's happening with the sound. Okay, no, it's it looks like it's something else. So that's good. We have that in the intro with tech anyhow. So the joys of live streaming, these things always happen. I've done it once where I've started a stream and launched into the whole intro and things like that, and it's turned out I've had my microphone on mute. So you always remember these little silly things. Beyond that, though, I'll just go through and the show sponsor, give them their little due. Just helps pay for a few little things. And here we
This
go.
video is brought to you by McCatsum Holiday Homes in Margate and Broadstairs. Great for a week's holiday or a weekend escape, being just over an hour east of London, UK. Treat yourself to amazing sunsets, a Lego wall, or great food. Visit www.mccatsum.com and mention this YouTube video and we'll look after you.
Now that we've done that, we'll just have a quick check-in with the chat so far. And we have Lady McBrick, who will be having in very, very shortly. Good evening to everyone. How are you? Hope you're having a good weekend. Or good week. Oh, already thinking of the weekend. And Simon there with a bit of a wave. Hi, Simon. Hope that you're going well. And just while having a look at that. And yeah, just checking that the comments in the private chat were all good. So having said that, I think we'll start getting some people in. Tonight's going to be a little bit quiet because a couple of our regulars are off doing things, having lives, and hope to see them around quite soon. But in the meantime, we'll bring in someone who just trying to think what they've been up to this week. I think they finished off Batbox last week, Rivendell the week before, maybe some massive build this week. We'll soon find out anyhow. Welcome along to Nicole. How are you going this evening?
I am doing great, and I think I will start with a massive build like Hogwarts Castle. No, it is a Hogwarts Castle, but just a tiny piece of it.
Oh, the little smaller ones.
Right. I found it on Amazon. Who would have guessed?
Amazon Germany?
Really me? No one would have expected that from me. Amazon Germany discounts. I never have managed that before, right? First time. No, it's just that I have loads of the other modular parts. I think I started right from the beginning, from my beginning, 2018, and bought all the modular parts of the Hogwarts Castle. And last year was the first time when I skipped one or two segments, and I almost thought that I stopped buying these because I don't have the space anymore. Everything is in zipper bags, and I thought it doesn't make sense anymore. I have the big castle, and even that one is in multiple zipper bags. I want to buy the small one. Why buy these segments unless you want the minifigs? So I bought it for the minifigs.
The minifigs.
Yeah.
So you can have the minifigs all in their zipper bags, and then the rest can be off somewhere else.
I have to tell you, all of them are in zipper bags.
So they are there. Oh,
Yeah. They are all in segments. These are the ones, all the what's the name for children at a school?
the students or the yeah.
Right, the opposite of teachers, the small version of people running around. So all of these are in the gray uniforms, and I have in their own categories all of my minifigs in small zipper bags so that I have them handy.
Yeah, and we'll always be able to put them out in your city or wherever they need to go. They're already there and lined up.
Right.
And yeah, obviously, and we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but it's been, I think, an interesting week for anyone who's a Harry Potter fan. So something finally, it's been rumored, leaked, and now we've got it. So we'll just bring in one or two more people, and then we can have a bit more of a chat about that. But joining us again was on a couple of weeks ago, and for some strange reason, when I asked them to come back, they was like, "Yeah, I can do that." It's like, "Oh, okay." So, welcome back in our resident expert mocker and tree person and zombie land, Brick Askew. How are you going?
Hello. Yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Oh no. No, it's brilliant that you're here and everything like that. And I think last week or whatever, we were having a little bit of chat before. You've just gotten back from a little bit of a holiday. How's that?
Yeah. It was awesome. Went to Barcelona. Perfect level of heat. So missed the ridiculous heat wave going out there. And yeah, just love Barcelona. It's my second time there, and it's just amazing. Lots of ideas for architecture stuff, taking loads of photos of all the buildings.
Yeah. And is that sort of, are you sort of like really into architecture that way, or is it just something that's quite nice and different, or what's?
Just, well, I guess I notice it. I wouldn't say I was into architecture as such. It's not like I read about it or anything like that. But yeah, it just stands out in Barcelona. Seems to just really cool. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
They've got lots of castles as well, by the seams of it, around that way. Kept going past them on the way to the airport.
The airport is there. Yeah, it's one place I haven't been to yet, which I'm really keen to get to, is Barcelona. So, yeah, as you're saying, sort of had part of the heat, but then missed it. I mean, Nicole, has it been quite hot where you are? I mean, in the UK, it's been our usual miserable rainy self, so it's sort of like, yeah, we're not getting the temperatures of the continent. But whereabouts where you are, is it pretty bad?
Not anymore. We had a couple of weeks 30 plus degrees, which was really, really bad. Now we have something about 22 to 25 degrees and rain, and I love it. It's just perfect weather for me. I rather have it with rain and not hot than no rain and then 30 plus degrees. I hate hot weather.
No, that's fair enough. And certainly coming from Australia, I think I've acclimatized to the UK too much now. So if there's too much hot weather, start complaining about it. And so, yeah.
It's because it's sudden. It's not gradual. It's just kind of rubbish weather, and then a week of intense heat, and then it's back to rubbish weather.
Then it's back to rubbish again. Yeah. It's consistent and normal. So one thing which we'll give a bit of a plug for, and you can see it along the ticker tape on the bottom there, next week is the 72-hour live stream or thereabouts. It happens every 6 months or so. And if you don't know what it is, it's where the sort of Lego community as such, there's usually live streams every hours, and it runs throughout the whole 3 or 4 days. So you'll be able to sort of, watch somebody's stream and then go onto another one and then onto another one and everything like that. So it's a good way just to get a feel for different people and creators that are out there. So next week, I won't be having the stream on the Thursday as usual. It will actually be on the Sunday, and the times are sort of going down below there. It's going to be midday in Central America, 1 p.m. in New York, and 6 p.m. in the UK. So 6 p.m. Sunday week, so the 30th. And I'll be having some people on the panel as normally, but I usually, with the 72-hour live streams, do what I call Lego Pictionary. So I sort of draw up some Lego sets, and then we have a competition to see between the chat and the panel who can guess the set first and also give a set number. So if people are going to use Google and going to embrace it, it's like, yeah, knock yourselves out. One thing I will say is if you've ever watched any of my top 5 videos, which I release each week, there may or may not be some sets coming out of there. So if you want to get a head start, that might be a place to start. In the past, Lady McBrick, you've been, I don't think you've been in streaming as such, but you've been on panels and things with 72-hour live stream?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay then. Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why. Unless I was on London Calling and I wasn't aware that they took part. That could be, but I don't think so.
Don't think so. Yeah, it's there's some streams. I was a bit late to the party this year, so I didn't get the usual slot. But things like London Calling, they'll be on at their normal time. But I think Greg's only doing like a 2-hour version this week. So when I say normal time, I think he actually starts at 7 because they generally only start on the hour and so on. So it's a good chance just to see different people or streams you may not otherwise. And certainly I know the first year, which I was aware of it and ran it, sort of, found a lot of people in different times and things like that. I mean, Brickaskew, were you aware of the 72-hour live stream?
I think I knew it was a thing. I'm pretty sure I tuned into like bits of the last one because it goes on for ages, right? I mean, like not just 72 hours. Obviously, 72 hours is a long time, but I'm sure I seem to remember it like going over more. But anyway, yeah, I would like tune in to bits over the days. I did find it quite hard. I kept getting tripped up by it's all in American time zones. So I was like, oh, cool, I'll watch them. Oh no, that was 6 hours time or something. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because it's usually organized by, I think, Bud Chop, and it's Central Time that he sets all the clocks to. So even we're sort of used to Eastern Time, and then Central Time's like an hour beforehand. So yeah, it sort of makes things. Even when I was trying to figure out the times today, I was sort of sitting there on Google. What time is it in London when it's Central Time?
Right.
Yeah.
So. And a g'day to Solid Brick Builder. Nice to see you around. Hope that you're going well.
How's the little one?
Sorry?
Both of them. I just wondered how the little one is, both of them. The very, very small
Yeah,
one
how's,
and the slightly bigger one.
and the small, not so big, or yeah, the small, not so small. Yeah, because I suppose now Solo's ones would have to be about 6 or 7, I think. We're getting.
Yeah, but the youngest can't be much older than a year.
Yeah, no, it's probably that. And
Don't tell me
well,
that it's 6 years old. It's time flies, but not that fast. Because I don't remember that he was born. It must be a year.
well, if it's anything like I can't remember if we kept it on this promo, but yeah, when children falling from the sky, being 8 years old, maybe.
Right. That actually is a thing.
And a welcome along to Humble Bricks. Hope that you're all going well. And Solo is saying she is 5 this year. A new one will be 1 year old. Excellent. So they would be keeping Solo quite busy at least. Cool. So I guess it's a nice little topic. The Brickbods, about an hour or two ago, they dropped their weekly podcast, and it had a nice clickbaity title, which got a few of us clicking, which was "Is the Lego Community Dead?" And they were sort of referring to the 72-hour live stream, and it's not as big as a thing as it has been in previous years, or at least the perception of it. So I just thought it'd be an interesting idea just to talk about, I guess, community aspects more in general, because certainly the way that they sort of looked at it and defined it was somewhat interesting. I mean, for you, Nicole, what's your sort of take on Lego as a community, and do you think the community is dead?
I don't think so, but I have and I have I think I have a different perspective of it, because I come from Instagram, and I think the community which is on Instagram will always be there on Instagram. 1 or 2 will drop out, but the core will always be there, because it's not our job to do it. It's just we like to play around with Lego. Most of the ones on Instagram, I don't think that they earn any money of it. It's just a hobby, and we tell the world about it. That's all. I have to admit that I thought of talking about Brickworld Chicago. That I shortly thought of, if I now make plans to go to Chicago next year, I hope the hype is still there. Not that I go over there, plan a 3 weeks vacation, and then all of a sudden it's me and me.
It does seem like, I know it's early to say, but the impression I got was that, or a few people on YouTube at least have said, like, if I go next year, it's not been like I'm definitely going next year. And I can imagine it's one of those things that's quite intense, must cost a lot of money, and it's like, well, maybe next year I'll go see a different part of the world or something instead.
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Chicago though.
It was. I mean, it's certainly something which last year was sort of coming out of the pandemic, so it was still, I guess, again, my perception of it was it's sort of like still recovering into the world getting back to normal, and then this year obviously it was the world is kind of more normalized, because I've been much the same, sort of thinking about it, but then also too looking at it, it's like it's during the week and with the kids and school, and like logistically there's some real challenges there, because it's not like they're probably going to come out of school or anything like that. And like I think it'd be a great experience and everything, but yeah, I think some of the logistics around it. So I think anyone who's traveling, particularly from the UK over there, doing it year after year after year, as you sort of hinted at, could also be a little bit on the expensive side.
Right.
But it's certainly it certainly seems like one of the big shows and something which would be worthwhile going along to. But I guess getting the question to you, Askew, what's your sort of take on Community, and do you think it's dead?
I don't think it's dead. I mean, I'm pretty new to it all. But yeah, I think. Can you hear me? My sound's just gone. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I had a click in my ear, and I've got dodgy USB. Anyway, I think it's good. I kind of to the point. So I listened to the podcast rather, and the point that I got stuck on was Ian saying that he doesn't agree with the use of the word community. But I think it is a community because everyone's got something in common. So like Lego is obviously the thing in common, and you get different groups of friends within that. But it seems pretty healthy from what I can see from a new person. I would say, I wouldn't say it was dying. Maybe it's shifting a bit. I've noticed that YouTube seems to be people not posting on YouTube so much. So maybe the YouTube Lego community is changing. But yeah, it seems healthy enough to me, and yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I don't think that in general the community changes much in comparison to other communities. Like if you were into a soccer club and you were playing yourself, then always there are people who lose interest and drop out, new come in.
Yeah.
Not the whole community will, not the whole soccer club, the whole team will all of a sudden at once decide, I'm not into playing soccer anymore.
Yeah, that's it. I think there's maybe a bit of an age thing as well, right? Because like in other communities I've been part of, there's you kind of grow out of it a little bit, or like, you get more, I suppose this will play a part, but you kind of get more like real life responsibilities, or like if you have a family or something, you get less time and all that. But it seems like in the Lego community, people kind of, that doesn't play too much of a factor. People stay in regardless of their age. It's not like, because it's mostly adults, right? In the Lego community that I think of, at least.
Maybe some have a different motivation. Maybe some drop out because they are, let's say, 15 to 20 years old. Age 19, they discover the ladies and drop out for a couple of years. Maybe some have children and they are not really into Lego themselves, but the kids are. And then it's a good pastime with the kids. And then the kids drop out and they realize, it's fun Lego, but do I want to spend the money on it? But the core will always be there, I guess. People who are adults and like Lego will always like Lego in some form.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, with myself at least, and I feel like it's a fairly common thing from what I've seen, that now that I'm back into it, I don't see myself dropping out anytime soon. Like, it's one of those things you can just do forever, right? If you want to. I'm sure things further down the road will mean that I won't. Well, already, like, I'm not going to be buying as much Lego for the foreseeable future, but it's not going to stop me from being involved.
Right.
So yeah.
And I think that's a normal thing to do, because when I started to buy Lego, I bought the first few years really loads of Lego because there's space, and one point or the other. And then now I buy less Lego, but I have loads to rebuild again.
Yeah, this is it, because I've been dismantling all my sets at the moment, so I've got all of them to rebuild over time, and like with limited space as well, means you just cycle through. So you dismantle and then you can rebuild it again in 6 months, a year, or whatever.
Right. And now is the time. When I started collecting Lego, I look back and realized that I was fascinating with all the others who had really old sets. I started buying sets in 2018, so my first real year is 2017 that I bought sets from. now is slowly the time that I can be the wise down of the Lego, like, oh, look at this. I have a set from 2017.
Yeah, you're no longer the newbie with all the FOMO.
Right.
Yeah, and no, I am seeing a lot of the comments here, and we have the instigators along. Yeah, the title certainly worked and everything like that. So no, I do want to get around to. There's a lot of really good points coming up here. So definitely want to bring it in to what we've got here. And I think the other one, which you sort of mentioned about as well, and talking about moving to Twitch or focusing on TikTok, and the pool of YouTubers has shrunk a bit. It was also interesting because when I was listening to, I think it was one of the Cali Brick Clicking interviews, and they had one of the people on there who did a lot of shorts and everything like that. And for them, the idea of doing a long form video was just completely terrifying, and it was a completely different skill set. Whereas I think when I sort of started and things like that, like long form was it. You generally, like, if you did something short form, it was usually on Instagram to promote your long form video. Like it was rejigging it sort of thing. And so it's just interesting to sort of see how much it's changed like that. Because I do think with the short form too, it is somewhat a lower barrier to entry. Like, you know, doing a 15, 20 second TikTok or, you know, reel or short, it's much easier to do than, you know, having you sit down, do a 5-10 minute video, edit, script it, do it all, you know, and it can be as complicated or as easy as you want it. So on the one hand, it's good because then if you can at least get started with the short form content, then you can go to the long form content. And I suppose it's what you want to get out of it. Because I know it's weird with subscribers as well, because once upon a time when you're just doing long form content, like getting large subscriber counts was really difficult. Unless you had, you know, some crazy video which got millions of views and happened to go viral. Whereas it seems now with the shorter form content, it's easier somewhat to be able to get that explosion in numbers, have a couple of viral videos. You know, we've seen it with a few things. I'm always hesitant to talk about like Emmasaurus and Emily, because while she was doing the shorts and things like that, like she was doing a lot of them and really doing the work and putting the time. So it's not surprising eventually one of them hit, and then it blew up her subscriber count. It
sounds like she did them.
It's kind of weird sometimes. Yeah, like she was. Yeah, no. She was putting the time and the effort into it, and you could see that. And Danny Bob Studios has been another one. So, but I do think that's interesting in terms of TikTok and Twitch and Lady McBrick. You obviously have been, you know, streaming for quite a while on Instagram.
But reading about Twitch, I totally forgot about Twitch. In the beginning, I watched a bit of YouTube, but mainly Twitch. And then I lost a couple of my main Twitch streamers, and I totally moved over to YouTube. I can't remember when I last watched a Twitch stream.
Yeah, I found with Twitch, the adverts on it recently have really put me off. Like you go to watch somebody's channel and they got adverts, and it takes you 2.5-3 minutes just to even get in.
Yeah,
and okay, you can do that
in the middle of it as well.
And now, you know, as you say, even, you know, you watch it for 5 or 10 minutes, and then bang, you hit with another 2.5 minutes of adverts and things like that. Which, okay, I can understand. Like on YouTube, you know, because it's what we're familiar with, it's what we're on. You'll have some of the adverts to get in, but generally if you're watching it live, you're not getting too many of those adverts unless you're skipping back around or something. Right. So you can watch it kind of continuously live. I mean, how are you guys finding the ads on different platforms?
It's definitely gotten worse on YouTube for videos. They seem much more frequent and longer. I seem to be watching more ads. And Twitch is a bit of an odd one. I don't use Twitch much, but when I have, it's been mostly to watch Carrie from the Big Bods when she does her lunchtime thing. But she kind of gives us a heads up. So I think she's trying to figure out like the best way to handle the ads, because there's a countdown timer, so she knows when they're coming. So I think she'll tend to say like, right, there's adverts now. I'm going to stop talking for 2 minutes. But then I
Yeah.
think there's also the other thing of people pay to not see the ads. So then how do you balance that?
But it bothered me on YouTube, never. I always get the notification, don't you want to subscribe? I never felt the need to it. YouTube doesn't feel bad in regard to ads.
So I did try out the YouTube Premium for a few months, and it is really good. Yeah, there's a few features that do make a difference. Just stuff like being able to get picture in picture, so you can actually like not close the app. You can go do other stuff on your phone, or you can turn the screen off on your phone, and it will still play the sound.
Yeah.
And no adverts, obviously. And then I couldn't justify the cost because it's crazy expensive. Yeah, it's like 17 or 18 pounds a month in
A month?
the UK.
Oh.
Yeah, you get a music player, so I stopped Spotify, but Spotify's better. So yeah, so I went back, and now maybe it's that. Now I've gone back, the adverts seem really noticeable. But even so, it's
Yeah.
been like, I don't know, 3
But
weeks.
it feels to me it's only, I don't know, 30 seconds, and then the second one you can skip after, I don't know, 5 seconds.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems to be varying now, because it used to be for me always I could skip the second one, but now sometimes it makes you watch it. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long, but you could be sat there for 30, 40 seconds in the middle of a video as well, which is
Yeah.
can be annoying. But you kind of know what you're getting with YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've noticed too, if I watch something on my phone, I seem to get far less adverts than if I watch it on a desktop, like YouTube.
Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe that's the reason, because I watch almost everything on my phone. Unless I join a live stream, then I do it on the computer because it's hard on me to for me to type in the chat.
Still, like,
Not on the phone.
Yeah, I do it all on the phone as well, and even like on live streaming. And yeah, it's a bit of a weird experience, especially
Yeah.
now they've got this like heart icon, which is covers up part of the chat. But yeah,
Maybe I'm desensitized because most recently I watch a bit of TV series, TV shows on Amazon Prime, and it's not really Prime. It's something freebie, free.
oh yeah, freebie.
Yeah, something like that, and it comes with ads. It's yeah.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, that's something else I was going to touch upon. During the week, I think about a week ago, you had Bob Iger, the head of Disney, come out and basically say they're really going to be cutting back a lot of the new Star Wars and Marvel films and everything like that. Like, the streaming services are really hurting. And it's the sort of thing where, because you're talking about, when he says cutting back, it's like 3-4 billion in spend on it. And they may even considering licensing out some of their properties. You might be able to watch some Disney stuff on Netflix and, all sorts of weird things like that.
Yeah.
And again, they're talking about what you're talking about there, that sort of premium model. And they're sort of going, in the beginning, these streaming services, they were great because compared to cable TV, you didn't have all the ads and things like that. But as they're starting to discover, the cable TV channels or providers were actually making a hell of a lot more because of ads and things like that. So it's like, well, the streaming services, because they've been cheaper and haven't had ads, they generally either haven't made money or they're losing tremendous amount of money. And it's almost like it may have to go to basically streaming services will be like cable. And it's sort of like...
Yeah. But that's my gut feeling without having any knowledge on or any facts. But my gut feeling would tell me the problem started when too many providers came. Once I only had Amazon Prime and Netflix. They had great service, great content, and now I have to decide: do I want Paramount, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus? something else I already described to something BBC related in order for me to have Doctor Who. How many services do I want to subscribe? It's okay. Every service is just $10, but in the end, I pay $100 and not watching 80% of it. So I cut back, and the ones who get cut, they don't get my money. If I decide to quit Netflix, I'm one less customer that they used to have.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Netflix too, in the last little bit, have really started to clamp down on sharing accounts and locking them and all sorts of things. Because I think when the Ukraine war sort of first started off and things like that, they obviously cut off a lot of Russian customers. But since then, the trend has been down just across the board. And then, as what Brick's in there is saying, they're making it more than ever, sharing Crackdown. I've started to hear of people within my group of friends and things, they're getting their accounts locked and stuff like that. So it is happening.
Yeah, but apparently the numbers are going up. There's I only saw a headline, but they were surprised that the numbers are the new subscribers as high as they are for Netflix. But Netflix is kind of the staple, at least in the UK, right? It's like when you talk about TV streaming, you think Netflix because they were the first, or at least the first big one. So, and that for me, like, because I've got the same situation as you, Nicole, where I've got however many things I subscribe to, but Netflix is usually like the last one to go. I'd rather drop down to a lower quality version of Netflix and get rid of it, and get rid of something else much more readily.
Yeah.
Readily. And that's the other challenge that they've had. Like, obviously, the Netflix model has always allowed for like binge. We're dropping the whole 12 episodes. You can watch them all. Whereas obviously Disney is sort of like, okay, well, we'll do one a week. And so we'll have the Star Wars one, like, what they started off with, Mandalorian. And okay, so you've had Mandalorian. Now we'll have, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, I'll have a bit of a break. And then once we've had that, we'll have Boba Fett or, whatever the order is. Because now they're starting to talk about subscribers in terms of, you'll go to a service for 3 or 4 months, consume everything, drop that one, go over to, say, a Netflix, consume everything you want to see there, drop that one, go back to Disney, consume everything. So, because like what you say, by the time you have Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, Paramount, whatever the HBO one wants to be, Hulu, this, that, and the other, 10. And it used to be sort of like £5-6, but now it's starting to get to the 14, 15. And you multiply by that 4. It's like, wait a minute, I'm actually now paying a lot more than what I would cable. And that's kind of always been the sort of thing. It's like cable's 40, 50, 60, whatever it is. And Netflix was 5 or 6. Now it's not. So.
Right, exactly. And you have a watch list on every service. If I at least had one watch list and then could just pick and choose whatever I want to watch. But weeks go by and I totally forget about Disney Plus or on Amazon Prime, and I already pay for stuff and don't use it. It's just I forget. I find a new show and I'm totally indulging in it, and it's a shame that I spend money on something that I don't really use because I'm not aware of it anymore.
Yeah, and then it gets, when you do go to leave, they're like, oh, have it for £2, £3 a month for 6 months. And you're like, well, all right then, because it's almost nothing, but then you still don't use it and you're still throwing money away. And
Yeah.
The only I never really left so far, but now that you say that, I think I would get annoyed. Like, I could get it for £2. Why have I paid 10? Why? I think I know I should do that.
I don't think I've paid full price for Now TV for about a year because I've wanted to leave. I think I had Audible and I had about 6 or 9 months on that for, I don't know, a tenner overall. Just because I was saying I was going to leave. I mean, you have to be prepared to actually leave if they don't offer you anything. But
yeah, because the cable providers here, like particularly with your internet and Sky or whatever it was. It used to be the sort of thing you'd threaten to leave or whatever, and they'd go through and, okay, we can do you a better deal. Now it's basically you have to do the whole disconnect service and everything like that, and then they'll start harassing you. It's like, oh, okay, you are serious. And it seemed like by that time, it's like, I've already committed to a contract elsewhere. Like, where were you guys when I was telling you about this before?
Right.
And yeah, just picking up on something that BrickBots said, Disney will need to license out enough people to get into their franchises. So when something is exclusive to Disney Plus, people will move across. I think the other interesting thing which I've seen, and they've started to sort of, they're going to do a remake of Snow White, and it's no longer going to be Seven Dwarves because that's politically incorrect or whatever it is these days, and they're going to call them something else. And like even the characters and that, they're all shifting around and weird things, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that gets received. Because I don't know, maybe I'm just too old, and it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's not Snow White and the politically correct woke people or whatever it is these days. Am I alone?
Be good. Yeah. When I think of Elementary, Sherlock Holmes having a female Watson.
Yeah, okay. And I guess if it's going to reflect the times better, then yeah, because I imagine maybe it is offensive to, I don't know what the right term is for shorter people, but yeah, maybe it is better to do it. I guess it's the essence of what they're trying to get across back in the, I don't even know when it was made, in the 70s or whatever, the original. Maybe
1930s.
Yeah.
Oh, God, okay. Way before my time.
Way before any of that.
Yeah.
Because Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, at the time they'd only ever made like really short animated sort of things, like 20-30 minutes, and it was the first full-length feature, and there was a lot of in the lead up to it, so like, this is going to bomb, nobody's going to sit through an hour and a half cartoon, like, sort of. And then obviously it was successful and we started getting animated films. I'll just before I get the desk stairs and everything like that, we've got somebody else who's being able to pop in and join us. I'm quite surprised because during the week it looks like it's been a great time to be a Harry Potter fan, and I may have suggested a few things which might not sit well with some Harry Potter fans. So welcome along to Kerry. Hope you're going well. How's things?
You are not my friend. Do you know what he said about Gringotts? He said it looked like a lampshade.
What? We are leaving now, collectively.
Yes.
I hadn't thought that, but, yeah.
He was hazing me.
We're going to be going out.
Saying, this is
but I've even
Gringotts.
a motto.
Look, it's not. No, I'm not having it. No. Looks nothing like it.
So that's it. It's like a lampshade. You got the base there, and then that there. And just before the stream, I was saying to the guys, and they're like, "Oh, you didn't have the dragon on the top," so I added in the dragon there as well. So,
yes, you're hilarious.
Kerry, I think
So yes, I actually wasn't on a close today. I didn't realise until I got to work that I was finishing earlier. So I've just had myself a snack and I'm here. Not gonna lie, I've actually changed into pajamas. So not the top. Yeah. And I'm just trying to.
I just wanted to say your pajamas look way better than mine. Really?
No, it's these ones. These are. Oh, no, I can't do it. 1 minute. There we go. Mickey Mouse pajamas. Yeah. Just comfy out of the work trousers because I was so uncomfortable last week. It was warm and sticky. Yeah. Anyway, how are we all doing? We all good?
Good, cheers. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, all going well. Although I think Nicole's just managed to drop something on the floor. She might be able to recover it.
Bouncing across the floor.
I think.
Well, on my stream on Tuesday, I picked up something to show to the chat and dropped. It was the 100 Years Mickey Mouse thing, so half of it's missing. So I'm still trying to put that back together.
Oh, no.
That was so hard to watch.
Oh God. Yeah. So it's literally just on there, and there's bits everywhere, and then I pulled out this and dropped that everywhere as well. So yeah, didn't have a very good day. But I need to find the instructions to see exactly what I've dropped.
So now that we've got the Harry Potter fan on here, you can lead off. Gringotts, thoughts?
Yeah. So yeah, what would you like to know about Gringotts?
That's it. Day one.
Very excited. We are very excited. It's everything I could have dreamed it to be, basically.
That's good, even with mines underneath as well.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that the mines were coming. I don't mind about that at all, because basically I'm just going to take that off, stick it to the side, have that as a nice display piece. The top bit's going to go into my diagonally, so you can still play with the mines, and the diagonally is going to be there for aesthetic purposes, so you can actually have a look. I might even bricklink another diagonally, or make one myself as well, because I've wanted to make, not a diagonally, sorry, a Gringotts. I've wanted to make one myself, but I've been holding off because of this coming out. So yeah, Ian, Brickrock, Gringotts is not going to get sorted. Just shush. I'm not even going to get wind me up. It's not happening. Very happy.
Yeah, remove that there.
But yeah. Obviously, we're going to get it on the 1st. I think I'm now going to be in London meeting up with Fab Blondies. So I'm not going to buy it on the 1st because AFOL date has been confirmed to have been on the 16th. So I might get it on the 16th. We'll see.
Even if there is a gift with purchase?
So if there's a gift with purchase and you can get it with Harry Potter stuff, there's still stuff that I need to buy from this wave. I haven't got the trunk yet. I haven't got... What else have I not got? There's a couple of bits and bobs that I've not picked up yet.
Yeah.
So I might hold off, because what I've been doing, I've been getting some each month. So I'm just going to hold off and not buy Harry Potter, because it's very difficult when you collect different things. I shouldn't have
It's even more difficult when you live in Germany, because of the discounts.
Yeah, it's not fair. We've got to wait for AFOL Day. We only get 4 discounts a year. As soon as yours goes live, it gets discounted. It's impossible to wind up a Lego Harry Potter fan. That is indeed.
Yeah, no.
It does look amazing, though. Gringotts, I have to say.
Watch the new Wonka trailer. It looks so much like a Potter film. It does actually. Yeah, it does.
That looks really good as well, actually.
Yeah, I was a bit, oh no, but then when I actually watched the trailer, it looks really good, because it's not rehashing the old films. It's like it's like a prequel.
Yeah, it's like an origin story, isn't it?
Yeah. One Brit's just saying Gringotts Day 1. I'm like, I know, but it's 15% off if I wait 15 days.
Because how much is it? 370? Or have I made that up?
It's 370, so you can get £45 off of it. It's like,
yeah.
Why is it 370 for you? It's 430 for me.
Brilliant.
Don't tell Lego how weak the pound is, because we shouldn't be getting it that.
Yeah.
No, does it not mean that it's strong now? The pound's quite strong. That's why it's.
I assumed it was still weak.
No, it's I don't know. I can't figure it out. Normally, when the pound's weak,
it's
creep up towards the same as the same as euros, but I think it's a little bit stronger now.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely stronger, but it's nothing what it was about 5 or 6 years ago. So
yeah, and that's what I got in my head. Of like,
but it's kind of funny because we got.
Sorry, Matt, go on.
No, you go.
It's your delay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Kerry, you're right to wait till after days. Purchase Gringotts. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be good.
Because you can still get the gift for purchase.
I know.
through other means, right?
Is it going to be a gift with purchase that you can just get with Gringotts? Because if it's a gift with purchase you can just get with Gringotts, like the Colosseum, where you could just get that little thing with Gringotts. There will always be one. Well, not always, but they'll do plenty. Where's he gone?
Now I'm in charge, I think.
And like the football thing where they got those brickheads just with the football thing.
Right, yeah, okay.
And you can still go in and buy that now and get those particular brickheads. They did plenty, so I think they did one per actual thing, so it doesn't really matter when you get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the rumour was that's with any Harry Potter stuff.
So if it is with any Harry Potter stuff, then I've got a few bits and bobs that I can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like last time when they brought out... What did they bring out? They brought out the... what was the last gift we purchased?
Was that the rumour?
The Eiffel Tower. I think the apartment you only got with the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. That scared him.
Yeah.
No, so... Yeah, they did the...
I can
what
picture
was it?
it.
They did
What's the staircase?
Not the staircase, the one before, the dorm rooms.
Right, okay.
Yeah, but what they did was they did the dorm rooms a month after all the Lego had come out, all the Harry Potter Lego had come out. And I bought it on day one. And then when that came out, and so I bought it on day one and I got another Monster Book of Monsters. I got a second one. And then they brought out the dorm room like a month or two later. And I'm like, well, I've got all the Harry Potter Lego, all of it.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that I haven't got. So I messaged Lego and said, can I please swap this Monster Book of Monsters for that? And they said, don't be silly, and sent me one. So it was really nice. And then a Mega Man sent me another one.
Yeah.
That's
so nice of them.
Because they definitely know what they're doing, don't they, with their timings for the gift with purchases.
Yeah.
Like, then, like with the, I guess the modular gift with purchase coming out a month or two later than the modular, and Forestman gift last year with the castle.
It's really
coming out a month
annoying
before.
when they do that.
Yeah, but it works. I'm sure. Like I got sucked into it last year for sure. It was like, especially with the Forestman. I think I ended up getting 3 of them.
So with the Forestman, you could get that. You could buy anything and get the Forestman one.
Yeah.
With the Harry Potter gift with purchase, you could only buy Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I'd already got everything. Like,
yeah.
I got the icon set already. It was supposed to come out with the icon set, and they delayed it. So I bought the icon set, got a free Monster Book of Monsters, which is there, and then it was ridiculous. The Gringotts vault gift purchase is to connect with Gringotts.
Oh yeah, I saw someone, maybe even one book stud, put a thing on there, so like a little Technic connector.
Yeah. Somebody who
purchase
did
timing
like
is killing. Gift purchase timing is killing one gift. Yeah, it is true actually, because then you don't get loads and loads of people turning up on day one, which is sometimes kind of annoying. I mean, you don't really get the as much hype on day one with Harry Potter as you do with Star Wars. So that's one thing. Because obviously in June we all trundled in June, and it's like, oh, it's not as busy as it should be because it was Harry Potter, and the store itself was expecting it to be really, really busy. So yours.
But could it also be a bit of a ploy? Because certainly during, lockdown and the COVID years as such, you go in, like everyone would go in the day one, and very quickly it'd all run out of stuff. Whereas at least if you got the gift with purchase coming a couple of weeks later, then the hardcore sort of people who want it might go, well, that's what we do. It's like, oh, well, maybe we'll just wait a couple of weeks. So it sort of calms down some of the crazy demand.
Maybe, yeah. I hadn't thought of it like that. I just assumed that they would bring it out to make you buy more stuff.
If you hear random water trickling, my hubby's just informed me that he's going to have a shower. It means the perfect time to have a shower on behind this wall.
And then it also means we don't get as much FOMO. Yeah, it's sort of like that Blacktron you've been able to get with so many different things now. So if you really wanted it, you probably could have gotten it by this stage.
I gave my Blacktron away. I wasn't really interested in it. I know that bad. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah, I think I've ended up with about 4. I think I've eBayed 2, and I've still got another 2 to get around to doing something with. I guess.
Yeah. I gave it to Omega Man. He gave me. I think that's what we swapped the Blacktron for. So he gave me. So if ever we get gift purchases that we don't want, if he doesn't want, I'll give mine to him because I know for a fact that if he gets a Harry Potter one, he's going to give it to me. So that's how it works. We decided.
It's a good arrangement.
Yeah.
The other thing which happened today was I got an email from, and some of you guys might have got as well, from Lego itself saying, "Oh, we're updating the Lego VIP accounts basically because at the moment it used to be a single account, and then they did that crazy thing where they split it and they went to like a subcontractor. So you then had to have a Lego.com account and a Lego VIP account, and now they're going to be collapsing them back together again." But the thing that I've noticed is since pre-AFOL day, like I've also got the card as like a digital wallet, and my digital wallet hasn't registered any purchases since pre-AFOL day. But if I go onto the website, like lego.com, where it's got all your VIP points, it's got all of them there. So there's like, it's now out of sync between the lego.com website and your digital wallet. And I've had 1 or 2 other.
Okay. I know that. So
other AFOLs, they've got the same sort of thing too. So it's
probably there's an issue with this.
related, but it's just sort of like, I'm going to take a few screenshots here because this is.
Yeah.
I'm just checking mine. I'm sure mine are actually in sync.
I didn't even know you could see it in the digital wallet, or as in like the number of points you got. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I think mine's out of sync.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Because mine are out of sync by about 6,000 points. Like it's
mine's out by a few thousand. But because the last couple of times I've been to the Lego shop, they've been having trouble with people spending their VIP points. I wonder if it's linked to that somehow.
Yeah, mine are out by 3,000 points actually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think mine hasn't updated for a few months.
Oh, I've also got 2 things on my basket.
Because it used to be the sort of thing like when I'd spend, usually within about 10 minutes of walking out of the store, it would update, like on the actual digital wallet, and I could be in sync with. Yeah, no, it's yeah. Okay, so I'm not the only one going crazy then.
No, I'd not even noticed that. That's
for a change.
Yeah, quite interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking through the sales now. This is what happens when it's buying stuff.
Oh, there is a 40% sale going on for the art set for your own pictures on Lego.com. The art set where you send in your own picture and get a set back.
Oh, the mosaic.
Oh yeah. The mosaic one. Yeah,
right.
No, it's
40% off.
I don't really want my own face in Lego, to be fair. This Viking ships. Oh, the Viking
ships. I just figured out Carrie's Christmas present.
I very nearly bought that Viking ship the other day, but I can't quite justify it.
Dragon of the East.
Yeah, because Smith's is also having a spend 50 get 10 £10 off, which I was looking at like this Super Star Destroyer Executor or something because it's like $59.99. And I thought, okay, yeah, if I do that, then it's $49.99. That takes me 1p under the shipping limit because you need 50 to get free shipping. But they've now dropped the shipping down to you only need to spend 20. No, it's missed now, so you only need to spend 20. So it's like, oh, okay. And it was Trevor who pointed that out because I'm still like, oh yeah, no, I'll just pass. And then he's sort of like, oh no, it's actually now £20 the limit. It's like, oh okay, bye.
Right.
I'm still waiting for Wally to come back online so I can buy it because I keep missing it.
What, the brickheads?
Yeah.
I got one in Barcelona. They've got loads of them out there. It's really weird because they're really hard to get here. And I've said that.
Oh my god!
Is it? Oh, there we go.
Put it in the bag.
Yeah, I was waiting ages to get that.
That's
And I
about-
said to the guy on the till about it, and he was like, "We haven't had any issue like that at all here."
It just came from people binge buying it because they thought it was so cute, and then put
Yeah.
it on.
And Simon, no, this I did the discount online because we don't. There's actually not a Smith store near us. Like the closest one is probably about an hour's drive away or something crazy. So there's no point spending £20 on petrol to save £5-10 on Lego.
No, exactly. Yeah, which is what I do. I got guilt tripped. I used to just buy online all the time because my Lego store it's about half an hour drive away, and it's in a place where I hate going. Basically, it's Meadow Hall, so we call it Meadow Hell. And when I got there, obviously they're all franchised out, and they're all based on bonus and not franchised out, but they're based on bonus. Obviously they're all competing against each other, and like the manager was like, "Use your local Lego store, shop local." I'm like, "Oh, I feel guilty now." Yeah, so this is why I now go to the Lego store and don't get online. Apart from this, because I've been trying to spend so I can get the the little this. So the I've had the I've had the other one that I've purchased, and I've not had anything to buy it with. So, but I also begrudge paying postage. Now I need to top it up.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always got to spend 50 quid, haven't you? Otherwise,
yeah. So at the minute I'm spending £13.49. What else do I need? I've got Expecto Patronum in there. Actually, I didn't know that.
The other thing which I've had this week has been the San Diego Comic Con, so it's brought out a lot of announcements. Askew, have you seen the tree parts pack? I mean, Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's quite cursed, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to get it unless maybe if it's like half price. It does look like a good parts pack.
What are we talking about?
The Chewbacca,
I've not seen it.
UCS Chewbacca or buildable Chewbacca.
Oh, is he out already?
Yeah, it looks weird.
I've not seen that.
September 1. He's being polite.
Yeah, I'm not going to get it. Looks weird.
It reminds me of something.
The best comments I've seen about it. Sorry, go, Nicole.
And it's just it keeps on reminding me of something like a monster from a show, like a chocolate monster.
the monster from Dogma. Well, I won't go into too much detail about it. But
I need to see this.
Yeah.
The best comments I've seen, it's like it's not too horrible.
Yeah.
And they made fun of Dobby.
And made fun of what? Sorry.
Of Dobby. Dobby really was cute.
Yeah.
But in comparison to Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's an odd choice to go down. Like they just went all in, I guess. They committed, and this is what you get.
So I did not know that Tales of the Space Age was only £44.99.
It's a really good set.
So I'm going to add that. So that's going to be my online purchase, which will take me over £50 with Wally. View my bag. I can take Expecto Patronum out because then I can potentially get that. What do you mean an unexpected error has occurred? I've broken it.
The Expecto one is the one with the wolf and the Patronus, right? Yeah. Should I tell you that it's 27% off?
No, you shouldn't. No. It's just mean. I don't know
Only
what's
came
happening
out
with my
recently.
I need to get Nicole to just sort of like, Lego mule her way over.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
we can't even take advantage of like cheaper shipping anymore, can we?
No.
I've stopped even buying anything from Europe because I think I've seen a few times where the shipping's just been, I don't know, as much as whatever it was. I was going to buy like 20, 30 pounds or something, and I was like, whoa, I'm just going to stop looking in Europe now.
I thought you pay 4.50 or something, €4, 50 cents, something like that.
Oh, really? Maybe, yeah, I don't know where I saw it. I mean, I have
Yeah.
had something delivered for free, but and then I don't know how it works with like the customs tax and all of that as well.
They like to get you with that customs sometimes, don't they?
Customs, you have to stay under 180 euros if you taxed on it. If you go over it, you'll get about 3% tax.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just purchasing Lego right now. I do apologise. Just confirm that's me. Okay. This is probably a really bad idea because I'm away. So yeah, next week, by the way, I'm on holiday for 2 weeks. So this is possibly going to arrive when he's like, Oh, has Matt gone away again?
Yeah.
I thought it was me this time because he's closed the door, and this is the furthest corner from my Wi-Fi box, and this is when it starts playing up. So,
Okay.
right, purchased. Okay, so I've got the little space scenes, Wall-E, and then that little. What's it called? What are these are the ideas things, aren't they? That won.
Oh yeah. Oh, is it like was it Bricktober originally? Oh, did they
Yeah,
move? Did they? Okay, because I've got a couple of them and I haven't decided what to do with them. I didn't realise they actually move.
Yeah, they
That's quite cool.
like little rocking horses, and I've just dropped a piece of it.
In fact, I think I've got that one and the pirate one. I think I've got.
Yeah, the pirate
Did
one.
they come out at the same time? And the space one's just come out, hasn't it,
The space
recently?
one's just come out, and then the other one comes out in August, I believe.
What will that be? The theme on that one?
I can't remember actually, but they're very cute.
Yeah, they are.
Is there a drawer or something with something in it? Cause I can. Oh, it's a letterbox or something. Oh, money. Sure, it's the toy rides, aren't they?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okie dokie. Right, purchase made. Thank you. Your order has been placed. Excellent. Hopefully, it will come Monday or Tuesday, not Thursday when I'm not here.
That is my main. I say gripe. There's the thing with Legos, that stuff does take a bit longer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get it off of Amazon or something, you get it the next day, don't you?
Yeah.
It's okay, Kerry, ship it to me. No, Simon, no. Expecto Patronum is awesome.
So, like, start reading out your address on the screen.
2 exclusive minifigures. Oh. Tri-Wizard Tournament is on sale. Yeah.
I keep getting tempted by that.
What, this one?
There's Tri-Wizard Black Lake one, is it? Yeah, that. Oh, it does look good. I had it on 30 quid in Smith's, I want to say, not too long ago. And I probably should have got it then, but... Oh, yeah, haven't you got like 3 of them?
Yeah, I got 3, so I've got... That's one that's been... jiggled with. That's how it is. So that's how it is. That's the top of the second one. That's me messing about with the third one. So that's going to be now. That's basically the top bit there. So that is that.
So, are there like 3 bits to it in your mock? Well, I didn't even in the film maybe.
So,
Are there actually
basically,
3 towers?
I got 3 towers, which is this. That's the tower there. There. So that bit comes off of there. The underwater scene and the tower.
Right. Okay.
But then I've extended. So basically, that's the film bit of the tower. It's like 3 sections.
Right. Okay.
My water bit. Put this down. So that's my water bit.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to have this down at the bottom somewhere, and then 3 of those on top.
Nice.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Very nice.
I just need lots more pieces, basically. So,
It does look really cool. And that mermaid hair piece looks amazing.
mermaid's
I want it just for that, really.
I also need to mock build Cedric Diggory. And I need to mock build Fleur de the Corps because she's not coming in the set. So I've got Fleur's pants somewhere already because I've got the pants of Princess Leia from. Don't know where I got it from, but I've got basically the bottom bit of Princess Leia from the Ewok Village set. So she's got like because she had a skirt on. Take a skirt off, she's just got pants, so it looks like a swimming costume. And yeah, there they are. So quite expensive leg piece. That's the so I had that. So I just need to find a top piece and then put Fleur's head on it. But I cannot find short legs for Harry in shorts. They just don't exist. So I'm either going to have to get Firestar Toys to do a set for me, or leave him in trousers. I've got shorts for Victor Crumb. What did I do with those? I don't actually know what I've done with those, because basically Batman's got shorts on.
Firestar Toys is like.
So yeah, so I've got shorts for Victor Crumb, but they've got a Batman symbol on them, so just, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
I might just mark a pen over it or something. We'll see.
I'm guessing you're going to display this.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm supposed to be displaying it at Sheffield, but that is vastly very soon coming, and I'm not going to be ready. So yeah, just need lots more pieces.
What event is that in Sheffield?
Sheffield Brickfest. No.
Okay.
Not Sheffield Brickfest. I can't remember what it's called. It's just it used to be Sheffield Lug, which doesn't exist anymore, but they've always had one in Sheffield, so it'll be displayed there. I was going to think of taking this Bricktastic, but I think I've just put my name down to volunteer instead of actually show there next year.
Nice. When is that? Is that in like March?
That is February.
Okay.
The last weekend of February.
I'd love to go to that. It's a bit too far though.
Oh, just just do it a weekend of it and make it as a holiday.
Yeah, that's it. The thing is though, like if my wife, if I go on a trip somewhere, kind of got to be for the pair of us. At least, I was talking to Carrie about this. I was like, I don't think it would be necessarily a holiday for her, rather than just being subjected to Lego for a weekend.
Manchester in winter.
To be fair, Manchester. Maybe if it was for a day, although even if
Not
I left
in winter,
there,
it's just grim.
Is it? Yeah. I do want to go to Manchester. We do have friends there actually. Maybe we can wrangle something.
It is nice, and it does get a little bit grim. That's the only problem. I've just got so much stuff that I just need to put away. I mean, my Disney figures are still there that I was, showing about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, what, the CMFs?
Yeah.
Have they sold out now? I haven't seen them in.
I keep picking up a couple. I saw one in the wild last week and I grabbed hold of it. It was Pocahontas in the end.
Okay.
So if anybody needs a spare Pocahontas, I've got one. I've also got a spare. I can't remember what he's called. He's the guy out of. I can't remember actually.
The guy with the top hat.
The guy with the top hat, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is. Doctor something?
Omega,
Or Mr. something? I don't know, yeah.
It's not the one that Greg needs, I've already checked, so I know that Greg needs just one now. I'm going to make a brick now. Should I do Harry Potter or Draco Malfoy? I'm going to do Harry Potter. Harry Potter?
Has there been any news on the new Harry Potter TV show?
I've not seen any. I've heard that it's definitely going ahead.
Yeah, it does seem to be, doesn't it?
I'm a bit scared.
Yeah, a bit wary. Like it's quite a big thing to go messing around with, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be HBO, isn't it? So they do.
Yeah.
They do some very good things, but
still.
But the good thing is the old stuff isn't taken away. If you are scared of it, ignore it or take a peek at it, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. It's just...
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Say that because there's the Lord of the Rings show last year, and it was okay, but just end up watching the films and it's fine.
Yeah.
You can just forget it's not. Yeah, forget it's there.
Yeah. I think for everyone, I heard a few times that people did not like Harry Potter, but they did not read the books first. They started watching the movies, and then they didn't like Daniel Radcliffe, and all of a sudden they had the image of him and weren't able to read the books anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. Oh well, I've now learned over the years that it works out better to watch the film first and then read the books, because so often the film adaptation. I mean, Harry Potter is a bit of an exception, but the film adaptation of books are usually pretty bad. So
yeah,
I've read the books. I think it was I Am Legend was the one that always stands out for me. I read the book before watching the film, and I was like, this is not I Am Legend. Like, it's completely different. Well, up until a certain point. After that I was like, right, okay, I'll always watch the film first.
It had Will Smith in it as well. I can't.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was I Am Legend.
So, the book I'm thinking of is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep?
They did a TV show, didn't they?
iRobot.
Oh, iRobot, yeah.
That was not like iRobot. Well, to be fair, the book was named something different anyway. But,
I found it, hard these days after his, infamous Oscar thing. Anytime I see a Will Smith movie come on, it's like, I like the film, but I just don't like him anymore. Next movie, like,
yeah, you just want to go, you fool, you absolute fool. What are you thinking, idiots?
Has he? He's dropped off now. Has he retired or something?
No, he's just been cancelled, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's
basically just been cancelled. He can't get a job anywhere, and I think it's affected his family as well. To be fair, because they've all gone a bit weird.
It sounds like his family was kind of on. I can't speak about anything, but it sounds like his family was on the brink anyway, right?
Yeah, weird, weren't they? They definitely went.
We see the. Was it on Netflix? Chris Rock did his special recently or whatever, and he just obviously did a whole bit on it. And it was pretty funny. But then you see that, and then Will Smith comes out in the press going, "Oh, that's inappropriate," and it's like, you what? Have you kind of not figured out what's going on here yet? Like,
yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
He's basically gone Hollywood, hasn't he? And yeah, I thought it was invincible.
What happened to the Fresh Prince?
Fresh Prince was ace.
Yeah, I know, right? I absolutely loved it. staple of my childhood.
It's just right now, don't stop saying it.
I don't know, Kerry, how much of the conversation you caught a bit earlier, but BrickBods were doing a very clickbait title. You know, is the Lego community dead? Blah blah blah. What's your sort of take on the health of the Lego community? Obviously, you see it a lot from the mocking point of view and things and events, I guess.
Excuse me. I think the Lego community can be quite cliquey. Very cliquey, should I say. A lot of them know each other. And because they've been going for a very long time. So what sort of community are we talking about? Are we talking about the online community or the actual community, eventing community? Because there's two different communities, basically.
I guess the context within the BrickBods was very much around sort of the online community, given the 72-hour live streams coming up next week and things like that. And so it's sort of like you've obviously got that element of it, and obviously we're sort of part of that online sort of thing. But then you two are obviously doing a lot more on the show sort of side of things.
Yeah.
I guess as with anything, you're always going to get a bit of change. Nothing.
So
sort of, you know, there's always define it in three parts. You sort of got pre-COVID, COVID, and sort of the post. So just kind of, yeah.
So I think the online community is very inclusive. It's just there's so many different people. We all pretty much get along. I mean, there's not any. It's quite diverse. I think that the Lego community in the shows, the ones that do the shows and the AFOLs, that is quite cliquey and not as diverse. And I think the online, because there's newer people coming in, there's younger people coming in as well. I mean, did anybody see Brother from Under the Bricks thing?
Yeah, I watched that yesterday.
That was quite bad. Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
He's had some issues. And he's had some issues with people trolling and this, that, and the other. And I know that to a certain extent there is a bit of that going on. I've never experienced it. I know that he has a lot.
Yeah, sounds really bad. I did actually look up his account on Instagram, and there's like I couldn't even see a verified account for him. It was like 20, 30
other
fake accounts. Yeah.
And that started with kids being stupid. And those kids now are actual adults, you know, a couple of years later, and they need to be careful. But
yeah, especially now since the laws have kind of caught up with it all.
Yeah.
And when you're ruining someone's life, I think, yeah, it gets pretty serious.
It is pretty serious, yeah. I mean, I've spoken to him before. I did not realise he'd gone through that. That's awful, you know.
Yeah.
But I've not really experienced any of that. I mean, it's been very inclusive. You know, we all seem to get along. We're all very adult. It's nice to talk to like-minded people of the same age as well. I mean, we all have a laughing joke saying you're ancient, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? Like, I tease Greg about being old. He teases me about being old. You know, we're all of an age, and it's just nice to, you know, talk to people.
I think you kind of get past an age of like, I don't know, pointless bickering or whatever. Yeah, you just want to enjoy what you want to enjoy and leave the drama.
I always thought that you can't really have drama in regard to okay, there's drama like the road plates retired. No one told me, how dare them. But there is no real drama between us. You can have drama with the Lego, and how can they bring out something like Chewbacca and what's that? But I can't really have a fight with Carrie because she likes Harry Potter. Even if I hated Harry Potter, what ground would I had to fight with Carrie that she likes Harry Potter, but doesn't? It's at the end of the day you come out with. Oh, okay. I rest my case.
You can't fight with me. I've not got the correct personality to be able to fight with me. It's just like
Matt, she doesn't bite.
Gary's completely oblivious.
Right.
it's not oblivious. It's just it's like yeah, okay, crack on.
Yeah, no, Gary, just have a look at the screen for a second.
You are just so mean. Funny. But this is it. I know that's a wind up. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, look, and that's the sort of thing. Like, I see stuff like that gets released, and it's sort of like people like Carrie and that. I'm happy for them in terms of they've got something which is really cool, and they've been wanting for a while, and they're probably really going to enjoy it and things like. Because it's probably.
I don't care what anybody says about it. I'm so happy.
It's awesome.
And there's always going to be things like that. Like there's enough themes and varieties that, you know, generally there's going to be something that appeals to somebody or somebody who's really into it. Like, you know, we've obviously got Maxine's completely into the Disney. So, you know, when the new castle comes out and, you know, the Disney 100 this year, you know, if you're a Disney fan, you must be salivating and a bit broke, but.
Right.
I'm a Disney fan as well, and it's like no, I can't. It's very bad being a Disney Star Wars Harry Potter fan.
Yeah. And on top of that, ideas.
And that's sort of
Yeah. Ideas is one of those ones that like 4 sets a year comes out, so you're all right with that. Apart from when they bring out really expensive ones, it's just I'm getting a little bit behind on my ideas sets because of it's just knowing when. I mean, you know, everybody's feeling the pinch this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to half month, and at certain times at half month, there's certain savings that should be in my bank account that are not in there this year.
Yeah, right.
And I've not done anything different, and it's basically because the bills have cost a lot more this year than they did. Everything's cost a lot more than last year.
Yeah.
So I've got to this point and thought I should have more money in my account, and it's not there this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to the point where I'm struggling. It's just the point where that's holiday money that's not there. Might potentially not be going on holiday this year for, you know, we always go abroad and it's like, it's not there.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to sell some Lego.
Yeah. Just seeing Ian's comments.
When are we getting divorced? What?
Ian's raised about there are dramas apparently on YouTube.
Yeah.
No drama with streamers. What about M&R and Brick Queen? So yeah, like I said, Ian, I was talking about streamers of a certain age. There's you know, there's always going to be drama, you know. But what I'm saying is I've not experienced it.
But you're not thinking of M&R like M&R Mark, right? Because no one can fight with Mark.
No, it was, years ago. I think
Ryan,
it was more
Ryan and
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan and that. So, yeah, I think
we know that drama goes on between streamers. We know that, and we can see it. And I am very firmly in the. I'll have a bag of popcorn and sit here and watch. You know, you can try and do drama with me. It just doesn't work.
I think there'll always be some drama wherever, like human nature, isn't it? Really, people are going to fall out or not agree on certain things.
But it's sad when it's in regard to Lego, because as Matt said, if I don't like a certain set, one less set for me to buy. There's plenty of other sets that I can buy or not.
Yeah, I imagine there's less of that and more of, I don't know, things around Lego, like with streaming, or like there'll be some form of competitiveness, or if people become close and fall out for whatever reason,
There's plenty of drama between me and Ian, but I think that's just normal.
I think Ian loves the drama.
Oh, that's healthy.
Yeah. I think you'll inevitably, if you have a number of people, you're going to get personalities that clash, or what some person finds funny, somebody finds offensive, and it can be sometimes a little bit tricky to navigate that.
Oh my god! Swollen to bits. No.
But I would hope that at least within the core community, that people know each other well enough that if Matt said something that I felt offended, that I would just reach out to Matt telling him, okay, not funny, not cool. In the chat, it's something different. If someone says something and I don't really know this person, to reach out is really a difficult thing. Because you don't want to do it in the chat. You can't do it outside of the chat. But within the YouTuber community, I would hope to just talk about it. Like, okay, I felt like that, not cool. And usually it's like, oh, sorry, didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I've had to have that conversation with someone at work in the past, and they were quite horrified in the end. Like what they said was actually quite offensive. And it wasn't like directly at me, but it was still like, you can't. It was someone I love, and it's like, you can't say that, man. Like, that's not cool. And if I hadn't said anything, because this was someone I got on with really well, and I was like, well, I'm not going to give up a friendship over that if I didn't say something, because I would have just festered on it and then drifted apart.
Yeah, now that you've mentioned that, actually, my hubby's had a certain thing as well. Oh dear, I've dropped an eye. My hubby used to work in a warehouse, and certain things get said in warehouses, potentially, big boys club things that you don't expect. And somebody decided to tell a stupid joke, not knowing that my hubby's wife was black.
Oh,
so you can imagine how that went. Yeah, and they couldn't figure out why he was very, very annoyed. And he's a big lad, my hubby. He's 6'5", and I think he tried to dangle somebody over.
Right.
Didn't tell him that joke again.
Right.
Yeah, he definitely learned from that, right?
Right.
I mean, he looks a certain way. They assumed he was a certain way. They got it.
I think so. Very wrong. Yeah.
You've got to be careful.
I think sometimes the chat is also a bit challenging, because if you're in the chat, so much can be lost in what you're saying, and sometimes you're typing an idea and it's difficult to condense it down to one sentence or things like that. So there's things can very easily get lost in translation, and
words can look very abrupt
I know
when they're typed down.
Yeah, and you can't really clarify it. It's, over at Twitch, you at least can direct message someone. If you think something that was said in the chat was offensive, the only chance that you have on YouTube side is either hunt him down on Instagram and try to direct message this person then over there if they have the same profile name and profile picture.
Yes.
Or you do it in the chat while everyone is watching and weighing in. Yeah, congratulations. All of a sudden, the bigger the stream, you have a conversation of 30 people discussing.
Yeah. I think on a slight aside, I think this is partly why I've always struggled to understand why YouTube is seen as a social media site, because you can't message people and interact with them properly, right?
Right.
I'm so confused right now.
But that sort of then says that social media is defined by that one-to-one action, which I think the thing with YouTube is you can obviously this where you've got live streams and chats, that's one flavor of it. But you still have videos where you can put comments and people can respond and that sort of thing. And it seemed to be a while ago, there was a big phase, and maybe I'm thinking 6-7 years ago, where people would do a video and then somebody would do not so much a reaction, but a a reply video. Like reply videos were quite big for quite some time. Like, I don't think I've seen any of those in like a while.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, I get your point in terms of you don't have that one-to-one intimacy. I guess that sounded weird, but yeah.
It's almost like it prompts a social like interaction outside of YouTube, because I guess you can't. It must be quite hard to form a friendship through YouTube. Not in the same way that you can form one with people that you've never met through Instagram or through Facebook or whatever else. I guess with the live streams you can a bit, but not as much.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
live
Maybe I
stream
don't know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
no.
Live streams.
No, it's interesting when you mention live streams because I think obviously a lot of us, like I haven't met most of the people on the live streams and that, but I think of the communication, and then outside of it, most of it is Instagram and DMs. So it is kind of
Yeah. I clearly missed something about what's happened with that SAR, so I'll have to ask. I'll have to look at that later.
So starting up again very soon, is it? I saw something.
Yeah, I think. I think it's on later tonight. Yeah, feel free to give a plug. So, yeah, it's always unfortunate. I think sometimes that. What's the best way to say it? I can't always catch Rich's streams because they're obviously on at the same time. I try to catch them on the replay, but that those guys, Rich has been doing the SAR thing for quite some time on a Thursday at different times. So I think that's the thing. When you've got 168 hours in a week, you're inevitably going to be on top of one another, but you try not to as such.
I don't know if the times changed. I might be wrong.
I know you in terms of SARS and that.
Sorry, was that for me?
Oh, there we go.
The time.
Yeah. Oh, it's starting in 2.5 hours.
Excellent. Okay, yeah.
Well, I say excellent, but I'll probably be in bed by then.
Yeah, I'll catch up on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll do the rewatch.
It's going to be probably after midnight here, and definitely about 1 or 2 a.m. for Nicole. So,
yeah.
But
sorry, this brickhead. I'm putting this brickhead together, and it's obviously brickheads generally go together the same way. This one has not, and I'm really liking it. Just the way that they've put the nose together there. I can't take it off now, but it's just the way that it's come together with these two little catchers sticking out there. It's just very interesting how it went together. So
wait, something go on top of that? That's where a nose is going to go on top of that, right? Or is that his nose?
No, that's his glasses. It's going to be his glasses.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
but the way that it went together, it's just it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for anyone who's joining late, I mean, you can see it down the bottom there. Next week is a 72-hour live stream, so I won't be streaming on the Thursday. I signed up and a bit late. I'll actually be doing Sunday, the 30th, which is going to start at 1 p.m. New York time, 6 p.m. UK time, go for about 2 hours, and I'll be doing Lego Pictionary. So it will be me sort of drawing some sets out and people in the panel and on the chat trying to guess what they are. And because people use Google, also be giving like points for set numbers and things. And because it's probably going to be organized at the last minute, the pointer is going to be, there might be some sets coming out of my top 5 videos, which I do from time to time. So if you want to go and watch some of those, you might get a few inside points on that. So that's what's happening sort of next week.
I'm going to be in a big camping field full of about 500 people, so I doubt very much I'm going to even be able to watch any YouTube. But, I will try and catch some of it, definitely.
Geocaching's massive then, is it?
Oh god, yeah. It's so basically next week is the geocaching mega, and for it to be a mega, you've got to have at least 500 people. But it's the UK mega. So next, there's one on called Pirate Mania, which there's a cup there for it. Can't really see. But basically, we all just dress like pirates and have loads of fun, and there's lots of drinking involved. Not by me.
There's a bit of a community for that down here. There's Harry
Yeah.
Payne. Is it Harry Payne? I think Harry Payne. I can't remember. It's a famous smuggler. Just come down
And
this
so
way.
that's Thursday to Monday, and then on Monday we all basically get in our ships, our caravans, basically, and then go along to the UK mega, which this year it's near Milton Keynes. So it's like just a lot of people go from there, but a lot of people don't go to Pirate Mania. They'll just go to the UK mega. It's a week-long camping trip. It's lots of fun, and I do it every year. So that's what I'll be doing next week.
Oh, cool.
So I'm just going to be away from the house from Thursday
What are
until
we doing
the
there?
following Monday.
Brickbods are, so you are the warm-up this year. I think they're referring to the 72-hour stream. I'm doing my stream from 6 to 8 UK time, and then the Brickbods, I think, are on right after from 8 till 10, I think it is. So you can just go from one stream to the next, and that's kind of the idea with it. So at all, I think there's only a couple of slots on sort of like Saturday or Sunday morning, which nobody's kind of really gotten into yet because it's like weird times for most people unless you're in Australia. So yeah, something to keep on from next week.
Oh, little broom, that's cool.
Are you into Brickheads, Kerry? In general? You gonna...
There's about 40 down there.
Okay.
I've got quite a few. Yeah, I've got all the Harry Potter
Down there.
ones.
And
all the Harry Potter ones. And all the Star Wars ones.
Nice. Yeah, I've been collecting the Star Wars ones from towards the end of last year, and now I think I am into Star Wars Brickheads.
Yeah. Am I missing any Star Wars ones? I'm missing the ones from the Comic-Con. And I think that's it, actually. I've managed to pick up 2 sand troopers for some stupid sand troopers? Sand people for some stupid Tuscan Raiders. I thought, it's one of those where I thought I had one, I didn't realise I had it, and then I picked it up again. And I've got 2 Boba Fett's.
Oh, that's cool.
One.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Aren't there sand troopers as well?
No, there's no sand trooper. There's a stormtrooper. There's a I can't never pronounce his Praetorian Guard. It's a Praetorian. I can't pronounce it.
I think that's it.
There is. Oh dear. There's 2. There's Kylo Ren. There's 2 Kylo Rens because there's him in his mask and without his mask. The Chewie one is so weird. It's like the worst one.
Theme there, isn't there?
Oh God! Let me grab Chewie and I'll show you. This is weird.
Did you see that they announced on Sonic the Hedgehog?
Just looks strange.
Oh,
It looks like a young Chewie, a young
Yeah,
Wookiee.
it looks like his son, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so very odd.
hmm.
Kind of like a dog.
I don't know what it is that's making him weird. I don't know if it's the nose or what. It just looks weird. I don't like that one. If it wasn't for the actual bandana thing, you would not know that was Chewie.
Yeah.
There's 2.
Isn't there in the Young Jedi series?
It looks like it's the Young Jedi series, yeah. I think my favourite one is possibly. Oh well, this is my favourite one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Stranger Thing stuff is just awesome. Like all the sets look really good.
And oh dear, 1 moment. The soak is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I've got all the Star Wars ones, and I've got some random ones because I've got like a few Disney ones. Then I've got the Avatar
Let's get
ones.
Buzz Lightyear. That's a good one.
I've got Buzz
Lord of the Rings as well. That's what I've got.
And I've got Lord of the Rings, yeah. But I don't know what to do with them. I'm probably going to just leave them in the box. I just realised I'm stuck here with loads of brickheads now. Yeah. Oh, there's Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear's there. Yeah. Oh, and I've got Captain Jack Sparrow. He's pretty cool. They need organising. Oops. So Buzz Lightyear's just lost his wing. Oh, so many brickheads.
How many brickheads do they release a year, roughly?
Oh, God, so many.
Quite a
It's
lot.
just easy money for him, isn't it? It's like £10, it's pocket money.
Yeah, that's it. Right. It's one of those things that's really easy to just pick up.
The Ahsoka one is like number 150, I think. And then they announced the Sonic ones today, and they're like 212, 213, like in terms of numbers.
But they've got them across all genres. That's the thing. I mean, there's Disney, there's Harry Potter, there's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Then there's random ones like there's there's like the Easter bunnies. They do brickheads for those as well.
And like Simon said in the chat, there's 3 double packs for Harry Potter alone.
There's the Disney ones, the series of 4 Disney.
Yeah,
ones.
the 4 or 5 for Star Wars.
Yeah.
The Endor ones.
Yeah, that was a 5-in-1 plus the sand.
Which one's that one? Oh yeah.
You've got that one. Haven't you?
I've got that one definitely. I don't know what I'm doing with it. Oh, they're over there. Yeah. Yeah, I need to organise them because they're just stuck on a shelf at the minute.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing. They do, to actually display them, you've got to put a bit of thought into it, right? Because I've just got mine on a shelf and they all ended up getting crammed and they're not being displayed at all.
No, mine are literally just crammed.
Because you have a look at someone like Brick Clicker, who I think is like collects them all, and I think he did a post about a year ago now for all the ones that he had, and he sort of had them on tiers, sort of thing. They look quite impressive.
Yeah.
And then Simon, there's been 10 to 12 Disney ones this year. Yeah, obviously there's all the 100 ones as well.
Oh dear. So that's a fruit tea, boys. I've left the tea pig in. It's very important now. It's like it's supposed to be a. So that's how red it is. It's like blood.
Do we have a spoon?
Oh, it's very potent.
Yeah.
I have to add some more hot water to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very fruity.
Right.
Too much. I don't think we ever got a chance to askew. What are you working on this evening, or taking apart or building?
I am taking apart the police modular building. Yeah.
The little restaurant?
No, the police modular.
Oh,
police
the police
station. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. No, I haven't sprung for the prison restaurant. But yeah, I've taken apart all my actual Lego sets. Whether it's a good idea or not, I don't know. I've done it before.
Are you doing it ready for moving? Or?
Yes. Yeah. Because I can't be bothered to try and figure out if stuff breaks on the way, figure out how to fix it. And then I get to build it again.
I can give you a tip. I just, okay, now it's almost a year that I moved, but this Kling film, that really worked well.
Okay.
There are loads of sets not the roller coaster that I built only while I was already here, but all my modulars, the Batmobile, the big one, they all survived with this.
Okay, cool.
I think.
Yeah, I'm going to do that on a few of them on my mocks, and I've got a couple of modulars that I'm not going to take apart. Like I've got the boutique hotel, which I ended up doing a mirror build for, and I'm not going to do that again. Cause,
Yeah,
well,
I did the same.
did you? Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of bent my brain too far. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. There are
Um,
a couple of sets which I took apart, like the Ninjago city sets, the big Hogwarts castle, because they are so delicate to set up with all the towers. I thought if I take apart all the towers, then I can take the rest apart as well.
yeah. Okay. And yeah, because I don't know what I'm going to have displayed in the new place and how I'm going to have it set up, and
Yeah.
because I might end up just parting out lots of it into my parts collection.
Yeah.
I do not
but
envy
we'll
you
see.
moving houses. I've only ever done it twice in my life. And it's,
I've done it far too many times. Used to move every 6 months for about in the space of about 10 years, probably. Well, maybe every year or so. But it was like moved loads. I think I can't remember how I counted it. No, this was after I turned 18. So I went to university,
oh, really?
and then so part of university I lived in 5 different places, including my parents' house, like moving back and forth. And then like just after I left uni, I'd kind of live with my parents for 6 months, move out for a year or a few months or whatever, depending on renting with either mates or strangers, and it would just be, and then moving in with like girlfriends or whatever, and so just constantly moving back and forth between renting and my parents, renting back to my parents, renting back to my parents.
No, I never did that. I moved out at 18 into a flat. Went to uni from there. Then I moved from the flat. When me and Mark got together, we got together at 18 and 19, and we bought a house at 19 and 20.
Did you? Wow.
Yeah. Honestly, like.
Couldn't imagine that. Like.
You can't imagine it, but it was just so easy. It's like, it's cheaper to buy a house. This is his parents. It's cheaper to buy a house, so you're buying a house. And we're like, okay. And that's what it is.
Okay.
And it was like £160 a month. That's how much it cost. But when you're on £2.50 an hour, it's all relative.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And we got a house at the top end of what we could buy, because I think it was £27,500 our first house.
My parents' house was like 16 grand or something.
Yeah.
Like.
We got a 100% mortgage with cash back.
That's
on the one hand, it's really, really smart that you did that because you started early. But on the other hand, it's really, really brave as well, because just based on statistics,
it was because 5 years later we actually broke up. We got back together, but it was a bit dicey for a year. So basically, we lived in that house for 20 years. But it's like a little 2-up, 2-down house, and then we bought this one. What was it? 6 years ago now, 6 or 7 years ago. So then we moved to this one. That was the biggest move we ever did, because when we moved into the little one, we had nothing.
Because when I moved into this place, we had like furniture, and so this is the second flat I've lived in with my wife. Well, now wife, and the last place was unfurnished, so we bought all this furniture, and then it's like, right, now I have to. Now for the rest of my life I have to pay people to move my stuff, because there's no way I'm moving a sofa and bed and TV unit.
Because that was a little 2-up, 2-down house, and it was pre-Lego as well. So
I
only had a bit of Lego. It wasn't that bad. I would hate to think that we had to move this house, because this house is full. Full. Yeah. Whereas the other one, we literally moved because it couldn't be that full. It was like 2 rooms downstairs, 2 rooms upstairs. That was it. So we basically moved our wardrobe, our bed, our sofa, 2 units, and the kitchen appliances, and we moved it all in one day.
Yeah.
Because our old house is literally a mile and a half down the road as well.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not too far to go, but that
This
was
one's a bigger house. Yeah.
yeah.
And the
With my
cats, we
Lego, I
actually
was like,
cats.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a whole thing itself. But yeah, with my Lego, I was like, I need to try and cram it in as little space as possible in like the cars and that. And if I've got built sets, it's going to take up a lot more room and more trips, and we've already got all the other stuff that needs to go.
I mean, from
So, yeah.
moving mocks to display, we know how hard that is already.
Yeah, I am quite concerned about how that's going to. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine, but that's going to be like they'll probably get a dedicated trip just for them because, yeah, I know how fragile they can be. And I don't want it to break, especially before I get the chance to display them.
I tell you now, I've had to remake my mock every single time I've displayed it.
Yeah, the one time I've
Pretty much
displayed the main one. So I had one with a massive tree, and that broke on the way in to display it, and then broke it, fixed it, and then it broke again, getting it out of the car on the way back. And at that point, I was like, I'm just going to break it apart. It's sat broken for like a month, and I was like, wow, I'm clearly not that fussed about it. If I'm not going to refix it.
It's very annoying, though. Yeah. Oh dear. Right, Harry's finished.
Nice.
I'm going to go on to Cho-chan. There we go.
Pull up there.
It's got a little snitch. Got his glasses. It's got a little hood. And it's the new broom piece as well, which is quite cool.
Yeah, okay. Is that out this year then?
I think it was last year.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it came out with. So it came out with a couple of the. I can't remember which set it came out with. Oh, I can't remember. Definitely like last year or the year before that broom piece came out. No, I can't remember which set it was. I need to reorganise this. It's distressing me so much.
Is that your mock area?
No, that's my actual. Well, yeah. So it's my display area for me. It's got all my sets on there. It's some sets that have been mocked and modded. But at the minute, it's a bit of a jumble. Yeah, there's bits missing off of pieces. There's a random horse here with wings.
Oh, I do want one of them. There's a set coming with one of them. Is that a Marvel set, maybe? Oh, I can't remember. But yeah.
Should be attached to a carriage. But I've only got one horse, not two. There's a Christmas train on the tracks.
Are you into trains? Do you get them like running around tracks and stuff?
So my Harry Potter train runs around this track, but at the minute my Harry Potter train, I've been put this in the box downstairs because that's what I've been displaying, so I've been taking it. So I'm going to probably mod the new one to run around the track. My Christmas train, I haven't had it out for the last 2 years because I display my Christmas scene downstairs and the cats took a liking to it.
Yeah.
And they stole 2 minifigures and took them outside. Yeah.
Oh, I'm quite lucky with my cat. She doesn't steal Lego, which is nice. She's scared of the sound of like emptying a bag of Lego. So.
Oh yeah, mine is as well actually. But no, he just did it randomly one year. He's also as well anything with string. My cat's got a bit of a mental issue apparently, where he eats string, so we've got to be really careful with him.
Oh yeah, maybe saying about that. Yeah.
So if it looks like string, he will eat it. Such a strange cat. But also as well, I was the Christmas dinner cooker. Christmas dinner cooker? I was the one that hosted Christmas dinner for the last 3 years, so that's how long it's not been out because it actually goes on the dinner table.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to be hosting Christmas this year. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law are very keen to not host it. Yeah. So I think it's falling to us.
It's very stressful.
Yeah, that's fair.
And because I did it so well the first year, there's a certain air of expectation.
Okay, cool. I will do a relatively bad job of it.
Yeah. Don't ever be good at something you don't want to do twice.
Thing is, I do like cooking. I do like the hosting kind of stuff, like cooking for bigger people, but it is bigger groups. But it's stressful.
We don't get very many guests. That's the thing. So, yeah. I thought the Harry Potter in Quidditch uniform came out this year. What? No, we're talking about the broom piece one brick stud. The the new this broom piece. Because it used to just be like a one broom, and now it's that headpiece. It came out last year, I think. That bit there. Yeah. So I was just trying to remember where it came out with, and I can't remember which set it came with. But it was last year's set at some point, wasn't it? I was just about to say, there's another person over about Bookbeat.
Carrie, are you starting to run out of space there? Because each time we see you, like each month or so, it's like you've getting less and less desk space, and it's like there's more Lego building up like a wall.
Yes, I'm definitely running out of space.
Okay.
A lot of it just needs reorganising, but I'm basically building stuff, and then it's stopping on here because I can't get it on my shelves.
Yeah.
Or I will bring something out to show things. Like I brought Wally out, didn't I, to show him about 3 weeks ago, and I've not put him back. He's still here. Yeah. And I've not put him back because I've dumped loads of stuff down there, and I can't get around my table. I have to have a big clean up in this room. This is what I need to do. Yeah.
Because that's when I've been looking at some stuff lately, and it's like, that'd be nice to get, and it's like, yeah, and you're putting it where?
Yeah, especially as the sets are all massive these days, it seems.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it happens to you too. So it's not only me.
No. I've got too much stuff. I know this.
Yeah.
It does make it easier to not buy it.
Yeah, it does. But I also, there's a big empty wall here, and I do need to put some shelves up on it, and I've just not got around to it. Yeah.
Although I find myself buying the sets anyway and finding the space afterwards. Once it's there, the space will come.
Yeah, so one way or another. As long as you've got somewhere to store the stuff you're not displaying, right?
Right.
Like that. Buy it and the space will come.
See, what I've done now is I've taken that box down, I've put it down there. I've been chucking bags behind me as well. I cannot get out of the room now until I can clear up. Yeah. And I am firmly going to do what... I mean, Carrie started binning her boxes. I can understand why she does that. Because I've got those boxes. I'm just there.
Yeah, I flat packed them for a while, and then it's like, what am I going to do with these? And I don't miss the boxes whatsoever. I get about reselling them. You might get an extra $5 or something further down the line, but I don't know. I'd rather not get that $5 and not have to deal with empty boxes for the years until that point.
And half the time, if you are using the boxes, sometimes it means then you have to actually ship in a bigger box, which then means you have to pay. You cross over the threshold, so you're actually paying more for postage or whoever it is, and it's just like that.
Yeah, and I don't really see the value in it. If the set were unbuilt in the original bags, then I can see the value in having the box as well. But if the set is built, you can't even tell anyway if it's complete. Then the instructions make sense to me. That's why I keep most of my instructions, because Some don't want to download it from Lego. So the instructions could make sense, but the box? What value does the box have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when it's been unopened, that's where the value for the box is, right? For
Right.
anything that you collect. But yeah, having an open box, I can't. Yeah, I'll just chuck it in the bin.
Yeah. Because even when I buy stuff, off eBay secondhand, if I am looking for something which I want to build, obviously it's going to be used. And I mean, coming in the box, it's kind of nice, but half the times it's sort of like I'm not interested because I'm going to get the box and probably going to throw it out anyhow, unless it's a really expensive set like a Ghostbusters house or something like that. I mean, different story. But for most of your sets, it's kind of right there.
Right.
And when the kids were younger, he kept all the instructions and everything so that, when they smash stuff up, you could build it and things like that. But, it's now like 5 or 6 big, really useful tubs of instructions in the loft. And it's like...
Gets heavy quite quick as well, those instructions.
Definitely.
I think you've got like
I mean, I
relatively...
stopped keeping the instructions, what was that, 3 or 4 years ago. So it's sort of like...
Yeah.
It'd be even worse now.
Yeah, but I keep my instructions because I'm a very suspicious person and I don't trust easily. And it's a miracle for me that Lego keeps them available for everyone, despite people not having bought the set. And my gut feeling tells me one time in the future, Lego will realize people using these instructions with their bricks and pieces or with the pieces from other providers, and they will take them off so that you can't get them anymore. And
yeah, I definitely hear that. Like at some point.
Yeah, but it's the sort of thing where I mean, this is a 1980s set, and if you go into Lego.com, you can't get the instructions. But you go into Google, and there's about 3 or 4 different people who have them up there as PDFs and whatever else. So I totally get your point in terms of you're putting a lot of faith in the company, which if they decide one day the server space is too expensive and getting rid of 10,000 PDFs of instructions is a good thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as Simon sort of got there and download the PDF.
Yeah, that's it. I have thought about doing that.
But that's a lot of work. If I try to download all the PDFs from all the sets that I have, I will be busy for a long time.
yeah, I guess it's one of those things that's a lot easier to do as you get a set, download it like one at a time. But yeah, going back through. Yeah. No.
And then where do I store it? Do I do it on an external drive? Because if my computer dies and I downloaded everything on my computer and then the computer is gone.
Yeah, I've got that issue with music. I bought so much music before like Spotify was a thing. I bought so much music off of iTunes and just like websites, and now it's on a computer that I haven't used for about 10 years. And I want to get rid of the computer, but I want to get the music off of it. And yes, I can't. And then it's massive. It's like a massive gaming PC. It weighs about 15 kilos or something. And so I've been moving that to house for the last 10 years. So yeah.
I've got a jailbroken iPod with a lot of music on there, like all my CDs and everything. I put it onto there. Unfortunately, it's got lost profits on there, and because I jailbroke it, you can't. All the music's on there, but you can only play it as a shuffle. So you put it in.
Yeah.
And I don't really want lost profits to pop up. Yeah. Emotional trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's like, oh my god. Yeah. It's one of my best albums, that one.
I never got into lost profits. I'm probably quite glad of it at this point. Yeah. Probably for the best.
I've now got rooftops going through my head now that I've just mentioned it. Yeah. Where are we?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's true about cloud storage. But then does it come to the same thing? What if your chosen cloud storage provider?
Yeah.
Cloud gets expensive as well. Mine keeps saying, you've run out of space, you need to upgrade. It's like, £1 a month.
Yeah.
I just need to take some of the 5 billion pictures off my phone and create more space. Rotors and stupid stuff and Lego. There's so much Lego pictures on my phone.
Yeah, I didn't really think about how Lego would take over everything.
Yeah. Tends to do that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having children and having a Lego hobby as well. That must be expensive.
Yeah, because I guess you have to. Well, yeah. I was going to say you have to choose between either getting Lego for yourself.
Never had anything else. Lego's the least of your concerns at that point.
Just got to buy them other things.
Yeah.
Are both your
I remember
kids
years
into
ago,
Lego,
it was sort of
Matt?
like, to raise. They were until their auntie gave them Fortnite at Christmas, in which case they've
There you go.
pretty much immediately gone into their dark age.
Video games will do that.
Yeah, occasionally when they lose their screens, they come out and go, "Oh, Lego, yeah, I can do that instead."
Yeah.
So
I cannot get my nephews into Lego because of Fortnite, basically.
Yeah, it's the end. So it's really interesting because somebody like Lego and Epic, which makes Fortnite, are doing a collaboration, and somebody managed to hack Fortnite the other day, and they've actually got all the Lego bricks in there. So they've started to build the worlds out, and there's rumors that there might be some sets next year, although it's very tenuous at this stage. But I just find it's going to get really interesting with that because you're really trying to encourage kids onto Fortnite, and the age mismatch. Like technically for Fortnite, you need to be 13, and our kids are a little bit under that. And when they started talking about it at school, we then got a letter back from the school going, "Hey, your kids were talking about Fortnite in the playground. We don't particularly like this. Here's an information sheet of all the dangers about it." It's just like full on. So it's like, the game is aimed at 13, 14 plus theoretically, and you're going to be having Lego sets which are generally under 12. So if they are doing that, okay, yes, they did it with Overwatch, but Overwatch was more, it was a lot more of that realistic violence and everything anyhow. So you kind of pitch it there. Like, I can see that if they're not careful with it, you might get some very angry parent groups with the whole Lego Fortnite toys.
See, I didn't know that about Fortnite. My nephews are 7 or 8. They were 7 and 8 when they were playing it. So,
I guess it's a shooter, isn't it?
The couple of things with it is, it's obviously first-person shooter violence or third-person shooter violence. Okay, it's in a cartoony style, but it is what it is. But the microtransactions in it are horrendously bad. And it was interesting because they've obviously done the 2K game with Lego, and that's started to really ramp up the microtransactions in that. Because it's the sort of thing where, to get to certain levels or stages, yes, you can get there, but you have to play for a ridiculous number of hours. So they're really encouraging you to get the in-game currency and everything like that. And you've probably also seen, various members of the community that we know. Okay, yes, the LAN guys promoted it a while ago, but they're now reaching out to other creators to promote it, and you see
Yeah.
some of them doing it. It's still like, I've never even knew you liked video games. You didn't even know what a Sonic or a Mario was. What are we talking about here? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know anything about Fortnite at all. I didn't even know it was a first-person shooter game. I don't even know what a first-person shooter game is. I'm assuming it's something like I don't play computer games. So.
Is it first person? Yeah, I think I played it once. And it might have been third person. But first person is when you look into the eyes of the.
Third person.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so first person is when you're looking through the eyes of the person you're controlling, and third person is when you see them as a person.
I've just borrowed my younger brother's PS4 so that I could play.
You've got Hogwarts Legacy. Oh,
Yeah.
I finished it the other day.
I went to go and get it, and I'm like, I am paying that much for a game. I thought they were $10 each. I was shocked.
Did you go to CEX by any chance?
I did, yeah.
Oh, really? And it's expensive in there, was it?
It was, so in CEX it was 25 quid for PS5, and the PS4 one, because it's brand new, there's no second-hand ones yet.
Right, okay.
So in the end, I ended up getting Lego Harry Potter from the years 1 to 8. That one in the old
Right,
set.
yeah. I think I got that when it came out.
Yeah, so I was playing this game, and my little brother sat there and went, "I can clearly see that you do not play computer games." I was just stuck in this room. I had no idea what I was doing. I kept on trying to jump up this. I kept trying to jump up onto this shelf, and I must have just jumped off of the shelf and fallen down the side. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do it. He's like, I don't understand what I'm doing. And yeah, I am not a computer person. I'm a computer games person. And he said, "Oh, take it." So I basically brought it home. I played on it, and I played on it. I sat there for about 2 hours, and I haven't touched it since. This is why I'm not going to get a computer game. You know,
it might be quite a jump to get Hogwarts Legacy. It's quite it's quite involved.
He has said that I will absolutely love Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm like, I don't think I will. It
is a great game. It is great. Even if you just fly around on the broom, yeah, just flying around like Hogwarts Castle is awesome.
Somebody's been to Warner Brothers Studios. Did you enjoy it, Bonnie? It's excellent. I went the second time because he found it boring. But yeah, so I mean, obviously you can fly around on a broom in the Harry Potter game as well, and I just kept on crashing into it. It's not my idea of fun, so that will probably not be repeated.
You could always watch people playing the Harry Potter game. The Hogwarts game, sorry.
I've watched a couple of people playing it, but it was just like, I was just thinking, I want to play that. I also had the same feeling when, the Star Wars one came out, the Lego Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Watching people playing that, and that's like, I want to play that. And then, after playing Harry Potter Star Wars, or any game, to be fair, I think I am not that sort of person. I will avidly play it for 2 hours and then get bored. Okay, I have finished.
You get this here. So now that Bonnie's come around, somebody may have gone swimming with their minifigure the other day. And I don't think that she's fully aware of it. So.
Who is that? Is that Bonnie?
That's her minifigure. Where is it? And I'm trying to do everything backwards. That's not her, but that might be somebody that she knows. So, I'm sure the next comment through from her is probably going to be something nasty or something. So
that's naughty. Right. So we've got them both now.
These things just come to me. I don't even actually do anything for them.
Yeah.
Is it cool? Those prints are cool. Like
they are, yeah.
The chest.
brooms. He's got a snitch.
Is that an actual snitch piece?
Yeah.
Is that used in other sets as well?
Yeah. So it looks quite big in other sets, but it's actually the correct size in this one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that is me.
So yeah, just loving Bonnie's comment there.
I was not aware.
Aware.
That's hilarious.
And then Aaron's face. I meant to drag it across to the laptop earlier today, but never quite got around to it. So,
Bonnie, think yourself lucky. At least your hubby hasn't appeared naked on stream before when you didn't realise you'd flip the camera around. Yeah. So I'm like here like this. I turned the camera around, pointed. So basically, the camera was roughly in this position as you see it now, and then I think I was here, so up a bit in here. And he walks into the room, and my head was in the place of his junk, basically. Thank God.
Like in Austin Powers.
Oh God, yeah. And I just saw him panic, run out. I'm like, "What are you doing?" That was me live streaming when he did that. Yeah.
Ruined your kid-friendly status on that one.
Did I just see that?
What effect did it have on your subscriber count? This one? That's that kind of stream. Okay.
Well, Ulrika for quite a while was like,
Nicole's after the important questions.
He did actually have his pants on, but because of where my head was, you couldn't see his pants. You could just see his legs and his torso. It looked like he was naked. So, yeah. And it's like, did that just happen? Did you have your pants on? I couldn't see. Also, when I saw him walk in, I couldn't see that he had his pants on. Oh dear.
And it's kind of funny because as you were saying that, my immediate thought was when Bonnie and that, and so like, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Aaron did something like that. So.
Yeah. And then there was a time where obviously he walked in and swore on Greg's stream because obviously I couldn't hear him because I had my earphones on.
Everyone else did.
Everyone else did. And then there was a time where I was on London Calling and Greg's like, "Can I hear a cat? I can hear a cat." And I'm like, "I can't hear a cat." Then I can hear a cat through his... I'm like, "Hear a cat?" And then I went, and all I could hear was my cat next to me going, "Meow, meow, meow." I'm like, "Oh my God, what's the matter?" Because these are the noise cancelling ones, these ones. So I could hear nothing around me. And obviously, it's coming through this speaker. I was so embarrassed. And my cat was just sat next to me screaming at me.
Oh.
He's done that a couple of times, actually. I've not realised he's there. Oh, Aaron's just turned up. I wonder what Bunny Bricks has been up to in London. Maybe see you next week. What have you been up to in London?
I look forward to it.
So how are you doing? Are you missing the baby? Are you okay? That's the question. Of course you're missing the baby. Are you okay about it? I'm saying the baby because I can't remember the name of your baby. I literally can't remember.
Nova.
Nova, that's it. Nova. Oh dear me, right. Oh, yawning.
Carrie?
Yes.
Do you know in this set why do we only get 2 of the new ones?
I don't know yet. I've not made it. It's got down here. Only 2 of the ones.
We get 2. Both Harry and Voldemort get the new ones, and they each get 2. You get a spare, but the others seem to have the old ones.
Really?
They're not important enough.
So I wasn't unaware that the ones were actually were new. I thought they were the same.
No, they are.
Oh yeah,
They
but the
have-
wand itself, the actual wand itself's the same though, isn't it?
It kind
new,
of,
isn't
yeah. The place where you keep it in your hand is different,
Oh.
and it has the tip is different too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's really nice. So now you can attach the power functions to it.
They look really cool.
I had no idea then.
Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah.
I had hoped that every figure gets now the new one.
No, because I think it's just these two that are battling. That's why.
Right, but the others are battling too.
Yeah, I suppose. But it's the big battle at the end though. That's the only one there that it's a big battle.
Right.
Where they're fighting against each other. It's that one that's fighting. It's those two ones that are fighting against each other though, isn't it? They're killing each other. So. I even actually forgot that was down there. Not by me, to be clear. Very much. Getting told off for asking for updates. Oh, bless. Face currently on fire. Aaron told me to try his curry and looked at me smirking like gotcha. That's mean, Aaron. I made an excellent curry last week in my caravan, of all places. Stop it. That's funny, Matthew. Yeah.
Oh, what happened to the dragon?
I don't think he's actually seen this. So this is a micro builder, and earlier I was told off for not having a dragon on top of it, so I also added that in.
It looks like a demented.
And I'm getting the death stare from Carrie, so that's the end. Yeah.
Right. I am going to have to scoot soon because I am getting very tired. Oh dear. This is the downside of if I'm not on a close and I'm on the open, I've got to get up very early.
Open.
Yeah,
Fair
for
enough.
work.
It's quite a long day then, is it? Sounds like.
So, my shifts we either do an 8-5 or an 8-8 or a 12 close, which is a 12 until whenever you finish.
Yeah.
Today I did an 8-8. And I left at 8:30. So it's a long one.
Yeah. Wow.
What is this? Oh, it's Porky.
It's always great to catch up. And what was I going to say? Is there anything you want to sort of plug or coming up? I know you mentioned you're doing your geocache thing, so that might limit things. But
so
otherwise, any shows or anything?
There's nothing I can plug. I am potentially doing a brick festival, which wasn't a brick festival last year. It was actually Hull Brick Fest, but I think it's changed to a brick festival. So I'm potentially doing that on August the 12th, which is the week after I come back off holiday. But next week I won't be streaming. Oh, sorry, I'll be streaming tomorrow on London Calling. Talking all things Gringotts. Well, I don't know whether I will be, but obviously Greg's posted his little thumbnail and Gringotts is on there, so I'm quite happy. but I won't be streaming next week because I'm working solidly from Saturday all the way through until Thursday, when I will then be going away. So, yeah, that would be just me. So I've got tomorrow off, which is quite nice. But I've got to get like things ready because I'm then doing 12 close, 12 close, 12 close, 12 close, all the way until Tuesday. Yeah. Don't know who did that rota. It's not nice. But it's because I had last weekend off as well, so I get punished the weekend afterwards. Yeah. And now, saying that, I probably should have finished off my Temple of Doom set. I'll finish that off in Great Stream.
Earlier when, we could see the sort of box in the background, so yeah, it's sort of something else to finish off.
Yeah. I don't like having half sets, but I thought I'd be able to get the whole thing done in 2 streams, and in the end, I did it in 2 streams, and then your stream last week as well, and I'm still not finished. It's quite a big set, it's quite intense, but I do love it.
I'm looking forward to making it. That's probably going to be one of the first ones I build coming up.
So many play features. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I think that's what I want to learn, all the Technic stuff. There's loads of stuff going on in the back, isn't there?
Yeah, it's not very technical. If you want something very technical that's not Technic, get R2D2.
Okay, well, it's more the moving parts, moving stuff.
Yeah. It's just conks. It's not. I mean,
right.
Okay. But it's not.
Okay.
Not from what I used to do as a kid. I mean, we used to have pneumatic and all sorts when I was a kid, and
yeah, I've got a few pneumatic parts around somewhere.
Yeah. So I wouldn't class this as technical.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's only one movement. That turns that, so that's going up. It's just having the correct bar pieces. So that one's quite technical. The ball. Yeah. But other than that, not much.
No. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else was very technical on what I've got. But I think it's just R2D2. Yeah. The one that nearly went out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this the one that everyone hates building?
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I made the same mistake as bricking it after watching him do that. Watched him do it, laughed at him, and then did exactly the same mistake. And I think I will have a bit of a clean up in this room tomorrow as well. Because it's stressing me out now. There's too much stuff in here. Yeah, it just needs organising. Okie dokie.
Okay then. Well, great to see you, and have a good time with the geocaching and that, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
I will. See you later. Thanks for having me.
See you
later.
I just realised, where's Trevor?
No worries.
Trevor's not here. Where is he? He's not in the street.
You finally noticed.
We won't tell him that, like. We really miss you.
Sorry, Trevor.
Oh dear.
What's the clip time? Okay, yeah, sure. We won't tell him.
Where's Bonnie? I knew Bonnie wasn't going to be here because I knew she was in London, so yeah. That's so bad.
Yeah, she's in London, so you know,
seeing
she's
in the flesh today is
like
September very expensive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway.
The other thing,
guys. Thank you very much.
Okay. No worries. Good to see you. Have a good one.
Okay. And hi, Taz.
Hi, Taz. Good to see you. Welcome along. Just picking up on that theme of September being expensive, they have also, you know, we spoke briefly about Chewbacca buildable UCS, whatever you want to call it, but they've also announced 2 Ahsoka like sets which are going to be coming out. And have you guys seen them? What are your thoughts?
I like the Ahsoka shuttle. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think I particularly like the minifigs. The shuttle itself
Yeah.
looks cool.
Right.
They're all colourful, which is nice. It's not
Yeah.
all grey. It's yeah, and even I guess the ghost as well is. I know it's mostly white, but it's not grey. Yeah, no, they look good. I think I'll get Ahsoka's shuttle at some point, but yeah, just for being very discerning with my buying, I probably won't get the other one.
Oh. I'm just saying that Amazon already lists the ghost.
Really, they're on it.
Yeah, I think most of those have been listed for pre-order on Lego.com, and I think even
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
so
only thing is that when it is on Amazon listed, usually then the sets remain on Amazon. It's not a one-time thing, and Amazon then gives a chance of being discounted.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just gonna wait 2 weeks, and then there'll be 25%
That
off.
was even by the way, because I bought the throne room, the diorama,
Oh yeah.
and I bought it the next morning, and I already got 20% off.
That's insane, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, Star Wars Rebels is it's a really good show. It's really cool. Just looking at the comment in the chat.
sorry, and that wasn't even from tech. So, usually, anytime it's funny, anytime with a stream or that, whatever, it's only a matter of time before he refers back to Rebels. So I'm gonna actually sit down and watch that one day. So.
It is good. I rewatched it recently. Yeah, it's good, especially like probably last 2 seasons of it. I think there's 4. It really picks up. It gets really interesting storyline.
Yeah, because when it first came out, I tried to watch it, and I think I got halfway through the first episode, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
Because been going back through Clone Wars with the kids, and watched that originally as it aired, and then now going back through it, and you can really tell. Yeah, it took to about the 4th season before it got interesting.
Yeah, because I watched it for the first time recently-ish, about maybe a year ago, and I did have to push through a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the problem with Rebels is that I've seen a lot of the important clips on YouTube already, so it's sort of like I have a fair idea of the key moments and what happens.
The good thing with Clone Wars was that it was just good seeing, I don't know, the extra, all that like extra canon and storyline behind Star Wars, not just the films.
Yeah.
I think other than Mandalorian, that was the first show that I watched of Star Wars.
Okay. And Brigapix Rebels is awesome, and that's coming from somebody that has a problem watching cartoons. It sounds like you've been drinking too much of the tech juice. So,
that would be cool.
Hope to make a huge R2 and BD. No, it's as much the same. Like I've seen those sets, and even the superficial price to part ratio on those is actually quite good. I mean, it's always not idiot proof sort of thing, but it's a good point to start in terms of valuing that.
Yeah, I do want to get the BD one. Is it the set from? I forgot the game now. The Survivor or the one before that.
Jedi Survivor, is it, or was the one before that?
The one before that, I can't remember. Fallen Order, I think is the first game. Yeah, that looks really cool, and I keep seeing it on sale and nearly getting it, and I'll have to get it at some point.
Yeah. No, I've been much the same on that one. It's like I've seen it on sale, nearly got it, and then again, it's like, where am I putting it? Like, okay. All right. What is it there? What's that? So having a look through here.
But the new Star Wars sets look good. Are you into Star Wars as well, Nicole? Then you get most of the sets, do you?
Not most of them. I try to pick and choose, but I like Star Wars quite a bit.
Yeah, they are cool. I got into it towards the end of last year, and it gets quickly addictive and expensive, and there's so many cool minifigs as well.
Right. Yeah.
So, before last year, you weren't really into Star Wars at all?
No, yeah, I've been into Star Wars since I was a kid.
Okay.
I saw the remasters. I saw them all in the cinema when they came out.
Okay.
And I was always into Star Wars. Yeah, probably one of the earliest films I remember watching.
Then they're saying it's a great build, BD1, and has loads of character.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it looks like it's got a lot of character. Okay, I'll have to get that at some point.
Yeah, because it was one which I never really knew anything about. Obviously saw the Lego there, and then one of the kids the other day was playing the Star Wars game. I was like, oh, okay, so that's where it's from.
It's a good game, yeah. I think Lego got me into Star Wars even more, I guess. Because I started to buy the sets, and then that got me into Clone Wars because I was getting clones, and I was like, so who are these guys then? I didn't know. I did see the prequels, I think all of them in the cinema, but wasn't overly fussed. I was an original trilogy kind of kid, and so it's good to. Yeah, Lego got me into Star Wars more, and into the prequels more as well, which was surprising.
Interesting.
And then I thought it was from Mando season 2. To be fair, quite possibly.
Okay.
About the BD droid.
Yes.
I need to watch
okay.
series. Meant to watch them with Aaron, but he gets impatient waiting for me to get ahead. Then I have no one to explain things to me. I think it was like if you sat down and watched like all the films, all the cartoon shows, everything like that back to back, it's something like it would take you 11 days to get through it all.
If you watched it 24/7.
Oh yeah, the droid wasn't Monday. It was I can't remember her name, but the engineers droid, the one who gave Monday the starfighter. What's her
name?
Played by a comedian. Yeah, Pele Moti. That's it.
Yeah, Pele Moti is what we called there. Totally wrong spelling. Yeah, we got the point of it. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff, isn't there? I didn't realise how long. I was really surprised, like with Clone Wars, for instance, how long that had been going for. And yeah, I had no idea there was other shows.
Yeah, Clone Wars was a bit of an interesting one because they had obviously done the first, I think it was 6th season, and I think it was kind of abruptly ended because they started doing the actual sale of Lucasfilm to Disney, and then it was several years later that then came back into the 7th season.
Did they? They did a good job of that last season, to be honest. Yeah, it stands out.
Are you annoyed with Star Wars that it sometimes can feel more than studying than just enjoying a show?
Yeah, there is a bit of that. I get that with Marvel as well, to be honest. Yeah, where you're just learning about the story, the background.
Sometimes if you watch things out of order, I watch at the moment for the first time Rebels, and if I had seen Rebels first and haven't seen Clone Wars, I wouldn't have known all the relationship that Ahsoka had with Anakin and what's
Yeah.
It wouldn't have made sense to me.
I'm trying to think if I did watch. I can't remember if I watched Rebels before Clone Wars or not. Which is why I think I probably went back and watched Rebels again. So, okay, yeah, now this makes more. Although, no, I must have watched Rebels after. I think I started with Clone Wars, thankfully, because if I'd watched like the Bad Batch as well before Clone Wars, then that wouldn't have made any sense to me.
Right.
Or maybe I did start to watch Bad Batch actually, and I was like, "What's all this about?" And then watched Clone Wars, and it made more sense.
Right. And there are so many details if you don't pay attention, because Sabine and the love interest of Obi-Wan, that they are sisters. Who keeps track of it if you watch it over years, over the course?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, right, yeah. It was this shop that Bonnie went to. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, that's not. She had mentioned something to me, but I wasn't sure whether it could just be a small little one. I think there was one in. Was it St. Albans or something?
Okay. Oh, there you go. Brick Traders in St. Albans.
Yeah, that was the one. Okay, so it was the same one. Ah, cool. Excellent.
Okay, I have to try and plan that in for the next trip to London.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's the sort of thing. Because what was the last series? Was it Andor?
There has been one. Well, there's Mando since, wasn't there? Was Obi-Wan?
Yeah, it was Mando. Yeah, they had when they're doing one of the hyperspace things, they had like the space whales in that, which a lot of people geeked out on, and I couldn't understand it. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, there was something in Rebels," and it's like, "Okay, that would explain it."
Yeah, they're surprisingly big part of Rebels, or they feature a few times at least.
It's one of those things. It's like, do I really want to know about it, or when I get to Rebels, do I want to be surprised by it?
Yeah, I wonder if they will have Zeb in the Ahsoka show. I hope they do. He's a very good character in Rebels.
Yeah, that was another one when it turned up. It's everyone's sort of like losing their mind over it, and it's like, obviously, it's in a show I haven't seen. Yeah, I mean, it almost seemed if they've gone to all that trouble to do like all the digital work and everything for it, why wouldn't they just use it? It sounds like it's a pretty popular sort of character.
Yeah, they're setting it up, aren't they? Surely.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that surprised me about the Star Wars shows, and that I hadn't picked up on at all, was how many like Australian voices there are. I think they're Australian. Pretty sure it's Australian, not New Zealand. Anyway, like all the Clone Wars have got Australian voices, haven't they? Clone Wars, sorry, the Clone Troopers.
No, that's New Zealand.
It is New Zealand, is it? Sorry. But
if
yeah,
Rich
that
was still
seems
here, he'd
like
probably be on the screen.
Is that because is the original guy Django Fett? Is he a New Zealander?
Yeah, I think he was because they filmed episodes 2 and 3 in Australia because at that stage the Australian peso was worth so little, so they could go there and make them really cheaply. So obviously they used a lot of local talent. So he was a Kiwi. And that's kind of why they started off there. Yeah, I always get the name slightly confused. And Tamara Morrison, I probably pronounced that wrong. Wonder if he's going to be in Soka. Hi, James. I think you need to make him off and just binge watch. It's okay once you get past the first episodes. Yeah. It's just I'm still just trying to get through the latest season of Bad Batch, and then that's the commitment. And then I think we go into a lot of the Star Wars series and hope that they're good. Hopefully, Ahsoka's kind of there.
Yeah, you hope they can't mess it up too much. It's like, yeah, there's so much hype around it. They surely can't get it. Well, I mean, that's obviously famous last words. But yeah.
It's kind of like they've done that with a few of the other series. You've gotten really hyped up for it, and then you watch it's like,
But maybe it will change when we watch it back in a couple of years, because the expectations can change so that you had hoped for more, and then if you watch it back a couple of years ago, you are kinder to it.
Yeah, that's it. You've lowered your expectations, haven't you? I think what did I do that with? I think that was like the third Matrix film. I was really disappointed when I first saw it, but then watched it again a couple of years later, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good.
Right.
Same with the prequels, actually, talking about Star Wars.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if the format makes you more critical of it as well, because now you watch one episode and then you have to wait a whole week, and you have the time to really think about it. That's really what I suffered from when I watched She-Hulk. I really loved the first episode, and afterwards I thought, first of all, they were really, really short. And I thought, okay, after thinking about it for a week, I did not like it as much as I probably would have liked it if I were able to watch the whole show at once.
Yeah. See, I'm kind of the opposite in that I forget stuff pretty quickly. So, I won't think about it, and then it gets to the next week and it's like, oh yeah, what happened? Unless I watch like a recap or something, or someone breaking it down. Yeah.
No, I think She-Hulk was kind of it's kind of fun to watch. I didn't particularly like how they ended up treating the Daredevil character. They kind of really made him stupid, considering you had that previous Netflix series. And it's gotten to a point where you sort of, after the bad taste that's left in your mouth, and a couple of the other Marvel ones. I mean, you got Secret Invasion on at the moment, and just no interest to see it.
I am watching it, and it's I don't know. It's a weird one, like, because I read the comics of it recently, kind of in the run up to the show, and it's it's almost like it's a prequel to the comics, at least the comics I read. So it's like they're setting up for either series 2 or I don't know if they're doing a film, because the Secret Invasion comic is further along and it's a lot bigger than what's happening in the TV show, like as if it would be for a film. It's almost like they've got to set it up so that people know about it. 'Cause I guess that's, yeah.
I mean, even with the Civil War, like obviously in the comics that was massive and everything, and then when they did it in the film, it still made quite a good effort, but it was still, it was much more contained because you've only got so much screen time.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't know, the last run of Marvel series, like they've been okay to watch and things like that, but you kind of like get to the end of it and it's like, okay, so where is all this going?
Yeah.
I don't quite understand. Like,
yeah, that's it. Is that does seem to be like the common feeling with the Marvel shows at the end. It's like, okay, like that was all right, but yeah, what's it going to? It seems to be setting something up, or maybe it's just the expectation that it is because they did that with all the other up until up to Infinity War and
Infinity War. Yeah, it's sort of like you had in Infinity War Endgame, which is basically 2019. And then we went into COVID, and then since then, Phase 4 has been much more TV shows. WandaVision, Falcon, Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, blah 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 blah.
It's been a lot.
I just sort of, I've never read too much of the actual comics of Secret Invasion, but my sort of sense is, is it going to be something where you start watching it and then you realize, or they do something weird where it's like, oh, half these characters you liked in these films, they're actually imposters or something. And it's just like, do I really want to know that?
Right.
That's what the comic is, though. Like half the people are imposters and have been for however long. But they didn't have enough big names in the TV show for it to be like a shock or anything, or spoiling
worthwhile
characters. Yeah, worthwhile. Yeah, but yeah, that was a good point though, because if they have like Thor, there's been a scroll for the last 3 films or something, like it's going to annoy a lot of people.
Well, I think it's also getting into the whole aspect of the multiverse, and like it's interesting at first, but then you start to realize if you have a multiverse, then characters dying, it doesn't really make any difference because you can just go to the next universe. And it's sort of like, well,
that's Marvel. Characters come back from the dead all the time in the comics.
I mean, that's you can't, after you've had a character for 20-30 years, kill it off and it goes away and we're not going to make any more merchandise on it. That's never going to happen. I think if you do that in film, it's sort of like part of the whole thing is characters overcoming and having their struggles to and the stakes being real. If they fail, there's consequences where it's sort of like, okay, well, they failed, next universe, next character.
I think there'd be a lot of eye rolling going on if they just kept bringing characters back in the films.
Well, I think it was much like Star Wars Episode 9, where how many characters in that film died and came back? It was like Chewbacca, and then Kylo Ren was allegedly dead a couple of times and came back, and you just get to the end of it. And I remember watching that the first time. It's like Kylo Ren dies, and it's like, nah, he'll be back in about half an hour, and well, there he is.
Didn't not Dallas do that, and weren't they the first one with Bobby in the shower? Wasn't he shot, and then it was only a dream?
I've never seen Dallas, I don't think.
Now I revealed that I'm the oldest among them.
Yeah, no, it's
I think it was
I knew of it but never watched it, so and Brickapix is heading out. Good night, and Bonnie's Bricks also heading out. Thanks for stopping by, and I think we'll start doing this little wind up here. We're coming up against 3 hours as such, so Might start off with Brick Askew. How did you get on this evening? And do you have anything you have to plug, channel, show, anything?
I have dismantled the second floor of the police station and the roof, and that is about as far as I've got. And plugging, no, I'm being pretty. Everything's a bit up in the air with house move is kind of dominating, so I'm winding things down, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, so nothing to plug.
Okay, then. All right, that's fine. Yeah, moving house and things. It's always like they rank things on the stress levels, and that's usually even right above divorce and all sorts of weird things. So yeah, it's like
I feel like I'm in a bit of a lull at the moment. We're waiting. Things are going well, it seems, but they haven't figured out our exchange dates and all that yet. So yeah, and then there's the moving and getting stuff set up. So yeah, there's all that excitement to come.
Yeah, all that painful limbo state. It's like you want to get on and do stuff, but you kind of just don't quite know.
Yeah, having solicitors ignore you and
yeah, par for the course with some of that stuff. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's get it moving, be able to figure out exactly when things are happening. So
yeah, the key.
So, great to have you back on, and good to see you as well.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you.
Excellent. And Lady McBrick, how have we gotten on with our build tonight? And if you got anything coming up, plug and.
The first part is.
Oh, cool.
So, I guess we are making progress. And so far, I really, really like it. It looks like it's going to be a really cool build. And especially with the minifigs. I really like them. And as for me, I'm going to meet tomorrow with Sir Awesome Fishy, Giao, on Instagram. Yeah. Some building, a bit of chatting.
Excellent. And that's your Instagram, and that is, I think, is that at 3 p.m. UK time?
Right. Yeah, for my time and 3 p.m. Your time.
Your time.
It's a bit difficult with the time differences. Yeah, because Giao, so Awesome Fishy, she is in the US, and that's a bit difficult for us to get together.
Yeah, when you got that 6-hour time difference, it does make it a bit challenging. So, excellent. So, yeah, definitely. And people's details are down in the descriptions there as well, so you can always check them out. Do the usual sort of thing: share, like, subscribe, all that. I had a poll going. It's always fun trying to access it, so I don't know if anybody else can see it. I think it was about the 72-hour live stream. I might just see if we can get in, but of course, if I try to get in,
I'll refresh the page. There we go. Do you want me to read out the results?
Yeah, if you can read out the results, that'd be good.
Oh, they've just disappeared. 2 seconds. There we go. So, yes got 58%. So most people knew about it. 25% didn't know, and then 17% watched streaming for 72 hours.
Nice. Cool. So, as the ticker tape down the bottom, next week I won't be streaming on my usual Thursday because they got 72 hours of continuous Lego live streams across YouTube. So it's sort of, most people do a 2-hour block and then go to the next one. So the slot which I have is on Sunday the 30th of July. Is going to be 12 midday CST time, or 1 p.m. New York time, or 6 p.m. UK time. And you're going for 2 hours, and it will be a Lego Pictionary theme. So I'll be drawing Lego sets, and then people on the panel and the chat can be guessing them, and usually also then have people are going to be Googling, so then extra points for getting set numbers and things like that. So it's just a little bit of fun, which I like to do whenever we have these sort of longer live streams. And I think otherwise I was just building tonight this little guy here. I was always surprised. It's like the actual name of it is nothing sort of wonderful. It's scaled up Lego minifig. So
How big is he in comparison to the pirate?
So yeah, that was the pirate. So it's obviously the same scale and everything like that, and that's where the name was a bit surprising, because like this one's like a tribute to Lego something or other, like pirate blah blah blah. Yeah, no, these are cool little builds. I sort of really getting into them. I like the way that they've sort of got to sort of like a little standard there, and this guy then has the top opens up. It's got a little minifigure in there that can control them and everything like that. I guess the thing with the Lego house one is it actually came with a proper base and stand. So, which I don't know, it just makes it, obviously if you got them two side by side, ones with a stand, ones with not. At first it threw me because I thought, oh, this is in a different scale to that one, but it's like I remember the building techniques are a bit the same. So it's the first time, the pirate was the first time I did it, and it's a really strange kind of build, because the nice thing with these is that they actually articulate like a minifig would, the heads, and even the legs are really cool, and sort of they all move. So at some stage I got the Harry Potter ones, which were the first ones, so I'll probably give that a little bit of a look as well. And I think that's most things for me. If I could bring everyone back in, probably have on Saturday release the next in the top 5 most expensive Lego sets of, I think we're up to 2008, and just checking everything else here, and just a shout out to the replay gang. Thanks very much if you got this far. By all means, put a comment down, give you a shout out next time. And a shout out to people who were in the chat earlier today: Stud Sidious, Ian Brickbod, the Brickbods, One Brick Studio, Boba Laveau, KO, Simon, Brick Scene Solo, Two Humble Bricks, Brett's Builds, Bossman, Bonnie's Bricks, Aaron, and a few others. So I think that's got most things covered. Otherwise, I'll see you not next Thursday, but the Sunday the 30th for the 72-hour live stream. Be sure to check out everybody else's stream, which is happening during that. And let's talk to you soon. I think that's it. So,
see you.
Bye.
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 Just need to go through and find the actual. See you later. Thanks to the panel for joining as well.
Mr. Bigger, Biblia super duper!
See ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.